Well, hey everyone, how's it going? So you guys saw the epic debacle today, and there's Chris. I want to say thanks to Chris and Sam in South Carolina Happy Bees for coming out and checking it out and helping out today. It wasn't what I had hoped for, but there's things to be thankful for. First off, the the uncapper worked well. And I say that because did no adjustments at all. We just put them in there and let them rip. And there we got a frame stuck because I wasn't paying attention. But for the most part, they all went through well. Once we figured out, on the outside there's a spring adjustment that you can pull apart, and that blade will swing up, and then you can just wiggle it and pull it out. We got it out. So, hey Ziggy, Steven, good to see y'all. Tritone, good to see you. And so, it worked. I definitely need to go through and watch the adjustment video, fine tune it, but it did work. We didn't have a lot of honey that we pulled. However, there is a lot of honey out there, or nectar, that they're working on and still capping. Some of it is pretty full, just not capped yet. So it's going to be a couple more weeks probably, and be back out there again, doing it again. And hopefully by that time, I know exactly how to adjust everything. So originally, the first frames we put through were deep, worked fine. The one blade is cutting a little bit deeper than it probably should, but it ended up working pretty well. Just cuts the comb deep, and then the other side is pretty stationary, flush, so it's not cutting as deep. So need to figure that out. The second thing was when we were running, like when the frame got stuck in the video, well, we didn't even have the guide lifted up to where it was supposed to be. If we still had it set for a deep, we were just letting it run through. But yeah, it worked pretty good. That little bit of stuff we got was I guess we figured about 8 gallons today. And of that 8 gallons, I already sold 1 gallon of it today. And a customer came and got 4 quarts for $120. And then I sold a pint to a lady this morning. So $135 in honey sales, and a learning experience. And we got to hang out. We had some hamburgers and talked and chuckled a bit, and just trying to get things going. Just not as much honey as right now I'm at about half of what I was last year. Not even at half of what I got last year. And it's not, there's stuff out there. We got the mimosas, we got some other stuff going, and we're trying to get it done. But my sinuses are acting crazy today. Let me see. I don't even have any sinus meds in here. Otherwise, I'd take some and clear that thing right up. Do I? Let me see. Nope. No sinus medicine in here. But if you guys want to talk bees and come in and hang out, more than happy to do that. And, I'm drinking some brisk tea. Hey, Brad. Good to see you. So, what we envisioned today is that if I had just 2 people, me and one other person, and we had the honey, the boxes pulled off, the way it was set up, we actually ended up moving the uncapping machine at an angle, right? So basically one person could crank frames through out of the box, and then as it got to the end, they could take them off, put them right in the extractor and start it. And you could just at that point, it wouldn't be a continuous process, but it'd be pretty good for what we got going on. And it just seemed, we had a good day. It just was not a big honey crop today. I was a little bit disappointed, a little bit embarrassed, honestly, that people drove up here to help and the bees did not cooperate. And there was Queen was up in the super just laying like crazy. In the bottom, it was just weird. I mean, what can you do? Not much you can do on it. But hey, someone click the link. It's pinned. Let's go. What are y'all waiting on? What are y'all waiting on? Let's go. Let's do this. I don't know what Charlie's doing. He's probably in the wings there somewhere. And, there's a video out there that shows how to adjust all those settings. And the main thing is the back blade is going to have to be adjusted. But it worked pretty well. Obviously, plastic frames, it looks like it worked on wooden frames better because if you've used plastic and wood, you know that the plastic are actually thinner. So it's a little bit different. But it does cut them. And we didn't adjust it. We didn't adjust anything. So when you heard that rattling, it's because of that width difference. Charles in charge. Popcorn Charlie, ladies and gentlemen. Muted Popcorn Charlie. How's it going?
Oh, it's going, I guess. I was out in the bee yard this afternoon.
We were there
I don't
all
know.
day.
Huh?
We were in there all day today.
Well, walking and stuff like that, my hip just got this hurting so bad I decided to quit. So,
well, was not a great honey.
I seen part of the working of the extractor and all. How did you get the frame out?
Well, on the outside of the handle side, it's spring loaded, so the blades will flex with the frame, right, and kind of ride the frame. Yeah. So if you pull on it, it'll pull the frame back and away, and that's what we ended up doing. So that plastic frame, we didn't adjust anything. The only thing we ended up adjusting was the height for medium and deep. But other than that,
seemed like it did a job, pretty decent job.
It did. I mean, it did pretty good. The blade, there's some adjustments that need to be tweaked, like the side. As if I was standing there loading it, the side that's coming out on the table, it's cutting it deeper than the side that's near me. So we ended up flipping it around and doing it, but it did. It cut it loose. I mean, it did a good job on them.
Right.
It's just learning curve and wishing I had more frames to extract, because we went through probably 35 colonies, maybe 40 colonies today, and a lot of them had nectar. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot of nectar. There was a lot that had thick edges, but she had brood laid up in them. So it was, and way up in the supers too, like 3 supers at the top, brood. I'm like, what are you doing?
Are you no queen excluder, right?
Nope, not on them. So now it's like, do I just shake them all back down in the bottom and throw an excluder on it again? I'm just so sick of flipping them around. It was so, I was frustrated. I was getting mad. I mean, I know what you mean. I was getting mad. I mean, right now I'm at not even half of what I pulled last year, and 4 times as many colonies. So that's frustrating to me.
Are they capping except for the brood?
Yeah, there's some of it that's being capped off. So, I mean, like I said, normally I pull at the end of June first week in July, right? And here you were on the 10th. So so it's a little bit frustrated with that. I mean, it was early, but everyone's like, oh, our honey flows over, and and I'm looking around, I got mimosa trees around my whole property, and the bees are working those. We got privet across the street, and they're working those.
Well, did you do your normal? Did you put out any feed to see whether they're even going to
No,
work?
I didn't put in. We put out the honey buckets, and they started hitting the honey buckets, but it wasn't like where they were just going crazy on it,
Then you got a flow run.
A little bit. And so it was just a little bit frustrating. I felt like there would have been more. Even the one that I went in last week, I said, well, that deep is totally capped honey. This week, it's capped honey, except for the center 5 frames have a big rainbow of brood in the middle of them now. And I'm like, okay, what do we do?
I don't know. It's just like today I came in. Hey,
looks like a John Deere long hive behind you.
How's it going? Yeah, you want to see it?
Yeah, let's see it.
Let's see if I can figure out how to flip it around.
You might have to. I like that. Is that a top bar hive or is that a long lang straw?
It's a long lang that I build.
It's good looking. You got John Deere stickers on it?
Not yet.
They look good.
Thanks. So it's working all right. Never done this before, so.
Yeah, it's working fine.
Well,
where are you located at?
Northeast Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Up by the New York border.
Up by Charlie. Charlie's south of you then.
Yeah, Charlie's south of me.
And then you got
what town? Where are you at? Wilkes-Barre?
Tunkhannock.
What's it called?
Tunkhannock.
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 I think I got a friend up
He's
there.
up there. Probably. Well, the closest person to him would be Carl. Be a 2B brat.
Carl isn't too far from me. I don't know exactly where he lives, but yeah, he's close.
He lives close to where Man Lake is up at Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah, I'm about 30 minutes from Man Lake.
Mm-hmm. So what's your flow like up there right now? Anything?
Good. It's not good at all.
Well,
real dry.
Well, that's it here too. It's been dry for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And we got a little bit of, I don't know, a shower yesterday for 10 minutes.
Yeah, we got a shower lesson
a while back, or at the Hive Life.
Huh?
At Hive Life, I met you guys at Mel's Diner.
Oh, okay.
We met you at Mel's Diner?
Yep.
I only went to Mel's Diner one night. Now, did you have the famous TikToker, or was that you?
No, famous TikToker. What's that?
No, Charlie knows.
Well, that was at the steakhouse.
No, that was at Mel's Diner. When we were,
yeah. Mel's. Okay.
We were in that back booth, and
a
guy comes up and says, "Hey, you guys are from the Hive Life. My girl is pretty. She's got a big TikTok following, and she's a beekeeper." And he's like, "Hey, she just hit. I forget what it was, but he said, could you make a big deal when she walks by?" And he's sitting there talking to her, and she walks over to see what he's doing. And we're like, "Aren't you that lady from TikTok? You're famous." And so every time we saw her at the conference, we were saying that to her, and she kind of got fed up with it after a while. At least I was saying it. I was.
You guys were going in, and we were coming out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Flip, is that Tioga County?
It's Wyoming County.
Wyoming County.
You sent me. I got some stuff from you.
I saw that's Dan Weaver asked, was it Tioga County? You can't see the comments. That's what the problem is.
No, I don't see any comments. I don't know how to use this well yet.
You'll get it. Just come on here. We'll coach you up on it.
I've been watching you guys for a long time, so figured I'd try it out.
Apologize in advance there. as you spend your free time watching us. Well, we just try to have fun on here and talk about bees and whatever's happening.
Yeah, your tank great. Love it.
And the if something we says helps somebody, awesome. And it's like today, I'm kind of, I don't know, not disenamored, I guess is the word that I should have said, because I'm sitting here thinking in my mind, I've got 4 times as many colonies as I had last year. And I'm making half the honey that I made last year.
Tough year.
And I'm just, I got customers that are showing up wanting to buy honey. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I got some, and it'll sell out quick.
Well, I mean, you were saying you've started a week or 2 early.
Yep.
So there is
normally I would wait till the end of June before even thinking about pulling, right? June, first week, July 4th. That's kind of my zone.
For here in Maryland, that's pretty much the it has gotten maybe a little bit earlier over the few years, but usually by July 1, you're done.
I think it's going to be more like August now.
I don't know, because
I mean, my girls are still bringing it in. I mean, it's slow. It's just slow and steady. And
just don't leave it on there to the point where they're starting to utilize it, and you don't get anything.
Well, that was kind of my thought of pulling out what I could. But if this is all I get, man, it'll make me rethink making honey altogether. I mean, it's like, for the amount of equipment that I've spent, the time that you spend growing the bees, I could make more money as a business just selling bees in the spring and not even worry about the honey.
There are some folks out there that do that. Yeah.
And
that Mel with that he wrote the book about, the on the spot queen rearing thing, OTS, that's what he does. He said, I don't worry about the honey. He said, I go out, sell all my bees, and then all I do is go fishing while you guys are doing the honey. But he said, I'm building my hives back up for the next year.
I got tons of bees, tons of brood, no honey. I mean, I do have some. I just can't pull it yet. But, in that, there's I'll have a whole frame of honey, and in the corner, guess what? Drone brood. Just 2 little spots of drone brood. I'm like, I can't. Now I got to wait for that to hatch out, and then you get a full frame of honey, and there's the whole center of it is cat brood. Now I'm waiting on that. I mean, you can see that they're backfilling it as it's hatching, but it's like, why is she in the 3rd super at the top? Everybody says once you get honey down there, she ain't coming past it,
And that's all bull. That's why I have queen excluders on.
Yeah. Honeybee Compound said, Bob, I've been told you can have bees or honey, not both. You're just building this year. Next year, be ready. So I tell myself every year that, right? Oh, next year will be the year. Next year will be the year. Next year. I'm going to buy this piece of equipment because next year I'm going to need it. And I haven't needed it yet. I haven't needed, last year I bought 50 honey supers. I bought 25 deep boxes extra, right? And it was just sitting there. Never happened. Never needed it. This year, by the big uncapper, I mean, it worked. It was good. Made work short. But it's not just I didn't have the workflow to utilize it. I mean, probably would have just been just the same thing had I used the regular uncapper.
But
but I got it. I can use it in the future.
I don't know. I seen a thing on Facebook here locally, someplace where I'm going to say the person did not explain exactly what they did in the hive, and I'm going to say they had 7 frames. Looked like to me possibly an 8-frame hive, and it's full of honey. And she said she put the queen excluder above the brood chamber, but they didn't put anything in the honey super. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what did you know, I was going to type something in, and I don't know what it is with Facebook, but if you go back, you can't never find what you looked at. And it's always changing for some reason. But anyway, it looked like to me that she had put empty brood frames in. And of course, that's why I do the single brood chamber management thing, is they will fill the brood frames above that second, above the first box. And I think that's what
Shut up.
I think that's what she did, or I guess it was she. Was that a chicken?
Yeah, chickens. Sorry.
No problem. I got some too. A few of them after they got wiped out.
Did you ever figure out what wiped it out? A coyote or what?
No idea. No idea what took it out. Probably a dog. It was probably a dog or something got in there.
Yeah, possibly.
But, who knows? Let me see.
So, Flip, you going to go back to Hive Life next year?
Oh, I'll be there. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm planning to be there. Let's see.
Tickets ought to be coming on sale pretty soon, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, they should be there about this time last year, right?
Yes, June. I wouldn't wait around this year.
Yeah, I'm not going to wait around to order this year either. I'll put them on my credit card and have the credit card paid before it's time to go,
Yeah.
And so what were you getting done out in the bee yard today?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, as I was telling like last night on my chat, is there's larvae in there. There's cat brood. There's big larvae in there and all, and there's eggs, and there's that, that 1 day larvae, 12-hour-old larvae. It's there, but there is like almost no jelly with those to be able to graft or whatever. So I took some Pro Sweet, which is Man Lake's product. I cut it 50% with water. And then I put a quarter cup or whatever you want, the measuring thing, a quarter. And I put some Apis in there. And then I got to thinking about it. You were talking about it, and the guy Munn, he said to use a blender. And I said, okay, I'm going to use quart jars. So what I did was I figured out, 16 ounces of water, and brought up the sugar that I put in there, which was liquefied, like your stuff that you buy. And then I threw a quarter cup of, or not a cup, whatever it is, teaspoon in there of Apis. And then I blended it, and then I poured it in my quart jars. So I figured, well, I'll go out there and I'm looking in there, and it's like, okay, you don't really have a lot of jelly. So to me, that's a nutrition deficit.
Yeah.
But there is nectar in there, and there's capped honey in the hive. And I'm like, what's the deal here? You got plenty of food that I can see, and you can see bees bringing in pollen. So
yeah,
I put quart jars on them, and, put a box over top of them, on top of the inner cover. And I figured, well, let's see what it does. I guess it's an experiment type of thing. And
Flip,
then
you run a YouTube channel. Do you have a YouTube? Does Flip have a YouTube channel?
Not really.
Yeah, they're asking over in the chat.
Goes on there. Nothing spectacular.
Sounds like my channel. I don't put nothing spectacular on there. It's all live streams. People are like, all you do is live streams. Yep.
A lot of stuff like that. Trying to keep them out.
It has a propane.
How many hives you got, Flip?
Right now, 30-ish.
Okay, about what I got.
How to turn on my camera? I'd show you.
You got to hit the settings, and then you got to pick the camera, and you got to pick the front-facing camera.
What kind of what do you got? An Android or a
iPhone?
Apple?
iPhone. There's camera. I just shut it off. Is it under more?
It should. I know when I do it, it has a drop down, and you can pick front facing, rear facing. Oh, my sinuses are killing.
There we go.
How do I get back to the other one?
Uh-oh.
Not that way. You can't do it that way.
Hey, Randy.
That's who's in there, Randy? The Dirt Rooster, Randy?
No, Tar Heel.
Oh, Randy, Tar Heel Beekeeper. Well,
there he goes. You're
That's
back.
Still the other way.
No, you were showing us the other way. We see you now. We were seeing the other way a minute ago when you said, "And how do I get it back?" And then
Let me try it again. Back.
There you go.
All right.
From John Deere Green.
Yeah, he got himself a fast hitch.
Yeah, it's the only way to go. But here's my upper yard. I don't know. Am I losing you?
No, you're good.
I didn't know. I didn't know if my internet was gonna.
It kind of stuck there for a little bit, but not bad. You got a bunch of nukes there. Looks like to me.
Yeah, we got some.
You're frozen.
He hit the outer limits of his Wi-Fi network.
Yeah. Looks like my kind of nukes. They got to
Hey,
be.
you know that Lyson 10 frame, right? I got the Lyson entrance reducer on it. Do you know them little heifers ate? They chewed the bottom underneath the thing so they could have a whole exit underneath the excluder. They're like, you and your stupid plastic, we can fix you. Someone's outside to get honey.
Hey, Flip, you've lost your internet if you can hear us.
Charlie, you got the show for a minute. I got to go sell honey.
Oh, okay.
Someone just pulled up and you didn't hear the horn honk?
Yeah, I heard that.
And so someone come join Charlie, and I'm going to go sell some honey after I get my socks on right here. Hopefully
Flip will be back.
And talk to the
people.
people.
I did. I think I'll see what I did. I sold a pound of honey today. Yeah. Well, everyone, honeybee. Know anybody that has a propane OA vaporizer? There was somebody up in Pennsylvania at Chester County Bee Club had one of those. I don't know much about them. That's the only thing I can tell you about it. I've got a ProVap 110 electric on mine. Of course, everybody's starting to buy the battery operated Insta Vapes from Rob's Bees down there. Hey, Rob or Todd. And that's the only thing I can tell you about them. I don't know whether they cook the vapor a little too hot. Hey, Joseph. How's that Hive lifting machine doing there? I want to see some more videos and pros and cons on that things. See whether I want to go ahead and buy one of those like yours or buy the one like James has. You know, Bob's making the big sale here. There you go.
Hold on, I had to come get change. She's getting $60 worth of honey though.
Well, that's good.
So be right back.
You can pay a payment on that honey extractor or uncapper. James, you got a vaporizer using propane? Yes. Okay. All right. There you go. The honeybee compound. Get a hold of James here. Maybe you can get an email, go through the private chat or something like that, and you guys can hook up, get a better understanding. He can. Now, I think Honeybee Compound wanted to know whether he was going to buy one or not. All right. He wants to. Do you think the low humidity is drying out the cells? Oh, you mean as far as like the larvae, I presume. I don't think so. All right, Ziggy wants to know. Yeah, Russell, he found out he had to. There's an adjustment on that thing that guides those medium frames. Is what he figured out how he spreads the knives to get that one that was all choked up in there. Hey, Rex. Ziggy wants to know, do you think a medium super 8 frame would be enough room to overwinter in 2 or 3 high? Yeah. Ziggy, I got a young, my neighbor over here. He's running 8 frame equipment. He's running mediums. And what we've done, originally, I wasn't really used to 8 frame because you got to remember, you've lost in 2 mediums, you've lost 4 frames of space for the bees. So what we found was for the brood chamber, we want to keep 3 medium 8 frames, because if you got to kind of count the frames with mine, that would be 30, and you only got 24 frames if you have 8 frame material. So you definitely want to do 3 mediums for your brood chamber. And I think you can get through the season with that, because you're going to feed them. And the top box will be your super, and the 2 bottom boxes will be your brood chamber. If not, even the middle will probably be kind of like a dome of honey.
Yes.
And
we did.
What's that?
Russell asked, did we figure out how to run medium frames in the uncapper? The answer is yes. When I put the medium frames in there, I didn't adjust anything, right? I had the same settings for the deep. We were just trying to be cheap and run one at a time. And so that one got kind of cattywampus in there. And then we figured out how to get that out, but we were able to run the rest of them through.
Hey, Larry.
And was easy to adjust. There was 4 bolts to adjust the bottom slide up for the medium frames.
Well, there's flip back.
Sorry,
You kind of ran out of internet, I think, when you got close to the hive.
I must have. Did you see any of the back ones or not?
We could see the nukes up there. up on the hill there and all that stuff.
Yeah, when I get out to the backyard, I think it ends.
And then I wanted to say hi to Larry, say hi to Jack, J and DSBs.
55 gallons of honey or 55 pounds of honey? I think you mean 55 pounds. You got a 5-gallon pail.
Unless he's got a drum.
No, he's only got like 4 colonies, I think, 4 or 6
Oh,
colonies.
okay. All right, so 55 pounds, that'd be a little less than 5 gallon. Joe's,
Yeah, there you go.
Joey, how's the lifter? Have you been using it even more than what you did on that one video?
No, I hadn't used it anymore.
You don't like it?
Oh, I like it. I haven't been in any bees. I've
But on
been in
Well,
vacation.
that's right. You were on vacation or something there, weren't you? I seen you at the
Yeah.
camper or whatever.
Yeah. And I lost my internet service when I was trying to talk to y'all there, so
Right.
wouldn't be able to do much. But no, I hadn't used it yet, but I'm gonna like it. I think
And now
last time we talked,
go ahead.
what's that? I think last
Um,
time we talked about it, we was comparing it and Mike's.
Yeah.
The only thing I see difference when Mike picks his up, he can keep them more level. Mine will lean back a little bit when I'm moving them to another location or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you can pick them up as high as you need
Now
to and
with
put them on the
yours, I was talking to Brad up in Canada, and the handles on that thing are kind of odd shape or positioned or something. Do you find that negative or is it
No, actually,
is it right or is it not right? Huh?
Yeah, he's got it where they need to be.
Okay.
But I find it kind of easier to hold it there and maybe at the top too when I'm adjusting the load. It just takes a little get used to.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're trying to set supers back down, that way you can kind of move the super back and forth as far as from front to back to center it, and then you're hitting the button over here and letting it down and everything like that.
Yeah.
And all.
I just wish it was a little bit slower. I was thinking about putting another loop, another pulley on it to make it slower. Where when you hit the button, it would move a little slower. But I mean, I just need to get used to it. That's all it is.
Right. So
Trying to figure out. I've started the spreadsheet for my honey, right? So every time I pull honey, I can say, this is how much I bottled and kind of give myself an idea of how many pounds I got. So,
well, what I do, I have a spreadsheet and I have the different size bottles that I sell. And it shows, I have it in categories, or I'll have the date and it'll say a 1 pound bottle and the price. And then I'll have a column over here. It'll put a 1 in there for 1 pound bottle. And at the bottom, it tells me how many 1 pounders I've sold, 2 pounders, 3 pounders, bears. And I can tell you right now, the 1s and 2s are my 2 number 1 sellers, and all of that. And it also gives me the amount of money that's coming in, and as far as total sales, and also total pounds of honey that I've sold. And then I have another spreadsheet, which I make it separate because I can't figure out how to do it electronically, but I have my expenses where I put down first of the year, let's say I went to Hive Life and I bought 5 or 6 different things. You got the expense sheet, you got your honey income. I might sell nukes, which would be another income. Maybe I had some spare miticides I sometimes I have that. I'll sell that to other folks and I'll show that money coming in there. And that kind of gives me a, whether I'm breaking even or having a profit or losing money, one of the two.
Well,
And
I noticed the first pull that I did, it looks like I averaged 2.75 pounds per frame, right? Because I know I had some real thin ones and some that were one side were not even capped, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So 2.75 pounds per frame. And today it was more like 4.8 pounds per frame. But I had some deep and some medium, right? That's just an average per frame. So
yeah, I mean, the way I do it is when I'm extracting, I start extracting, and then I bought a scale off of Amazon, and I tear weight the bucket, and I kind of, all my buckets are the same brand and style and whatever, and I tear weight the bucket without the lid. Let's see, with the lid, because when I'm moving it, I put the lid on. And that way, when I fill it up, then I take it over here and I put it on a scale with the lid snapped on with the tare weight in there. And it tells me the weight of the honey that's inside the bucket, which is average around 53, 54 pounds. I put that there, honey bucket strainer, and I bring it up to the bottom of that. And that makes it about 3.5 inches or so below the lip of the bucket. That way I can pour the bucket without spillage.
well,
Easily.
If you don't have these, you're missing out on small time beekeeping.
Oh, I got tons of them things.
Yeah. If you don't use these, I'll tell you what, I put this in the bucket. I filled the whole bucket up. I didn't try to strain it in the little metal thing, anything. And then got done with it and peeled it off the top of the bucket and grabbed it and just lifted it up, and the honey just ran all out. And what I ended up with was just a little bit of wax chunks in there. And then you can if you want to refilter it through something smaller to make it a lot quicker. But this was so handy today
so that's what I do. And I put I tape a piece of paper to it to where the date I extracted, the poundage, and the is it light honey, dark honey, amber or whatever kind of. But mostly all my stuff last year was all light. I considered light honey. It wasn't water looking, but it was light amber.
My honey was a little bit darker than, about that color.
Well, the bottle that you brought, that you showed last week or this week, that's what mine looks like. Yep, that's what it looks like.
And today's honey was a little bit darker than that.
Yeah. I've seen a friend of mine, he had some honey, and I don't know whether it's pure locust honey, but it was like murky white water, And he said that one guy at one of the markets he was at, he says, "What is this?" He thought that was sugar water, he had it in the bottle, but it was real honey.
So how was your locust flow? Ours was awful.
It did pretty good. It did not rain while it was blooming, which normally here I call it the locust rains. It'll bloom for about 3 or 4 days, and then here comes 6 days worth of rain and just wash everything away.
Yeah.
And this year was good. Last year was a decent year, except the power company come along and trimmed my locust trees on the other. They're not mine, but they're on the other side of the road in these people's yards. And I'm like, I felt like I lost 250 pounds of honey because of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
This year they didn't trim them. And the only problem I had was right in the middle of the flow, the main flow, as I had queen issues, and I'm dropping nukes in the
it's good
in my honey hives to keep them going. So
these cost about 30 cents a bottle.
Nice.
And they're right there in Pennsylvania for you, Stone or Flip.
Nice.
And the lids altogether you're looking at 50 cents, probably 40 to 47 to 50 cents.
I just
Yeah.
bought a box of them.
You bought a few boxes of them.
I bought a box of 1, 2s, and 3s.
I don't, people are like that lady that just bought. She bought 4 pints. That was $60. And she's like, "Do you have bigger sizes?" Well, I could, but I'm not filling it right this second. You know what I mean? So I might have some next time. I got a few more. I bought a case of quarts because the one lady that came earlier wanted quart jars. And so I was doing the math. So the honey costs the same thing per pound. But if you give them pints instead of quarts and you're giving them pint jars, now you got $8 in mason jars locked up, right? As compared to maybe $5, $6 in quart jars. So, let me see, 11-ounce bottle. What's that? 11-ounce bottle. What does that come up to in honey weight? Charlie, what you doing?
I am trying to get the pricing here for you if I can find it.
The most current pricing. He just got it this week.
Yep. Yeah, somewhere's here.
See, that spreadsheet we were just talking about would have been handy. You haven't inputted it yet.
Oh, I got it inputted. I was just looking for I think it's 321 bottles. Yeah, there it is. 321 bottles per 1 pound. So it costs you 37 cents a bottle.
37 cents a bottle, and then what are the lids? Each.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Let's see. What did I do?
For some reason, I
think that's that in the truck.
Number like 47 cents combined is what I seem to remember. But
I'm gonna say the lids. If you buy a case of lids, which is 1,700 lids, it's around 7 cents or something like that. 6 cents, somewhere's in that neighborhood.
there we go.
I don't know. Like I say, I had it here.
Yeah, but together they're like 50 cents.
Yeah, around 50 cents, something like that.
And that's not including the shipping, though. Charlie got his at his Bee Club, right? So.
Yeah, and then this year we were able to have a nonprofit tax form, so I didn't have to pay sales tax, which is really nice. So I even saved more there. And all that. I can't find it now. But it's about, like I say, 6 to 7 cents, something like that.
So it looks like so far this year I've pulled off 17 gallons right now. That's not a lot.
Well, you haven't even got started yet. You'll get it.
Yeah, last I pulled on May 14th, and then I pulled today. So almost 3 weeks ago, I pulled. And then I probably got another 2 weeks before they have what they got in there capped and everything, right?
Right.
I get $30 a quart. I probably should get more from what everybody's saying.
For a quart?
Yeah.
30
But,
bucks?
on a quart jar, you guys might be able to tell me. On the quart jar, you got the numbers on the side, right? On a mason jar. And then you got a little line up at the top, but it's not all the way to the top. Is that the fill line, the one up on the little curve?
The fill line is you get a scale and you tear weight that thing, and you can.
If I start selling half empty jars of honey, ain't nobody gonna buy any.
I weigh everything.
Use the line up by
The
And
line on
you
the
can
back.
up by the neck. There's like a little. You can kind of almost see a line.
Yeah,
That's
it's just a little tiny raised line.
Yeah.
And
you
I've
can
been
you can put 2 pounds and I put 2 pounds and 12 ounces in, so it's 2 3/4 pounds.
so like when I fill it up, I usually fill it up to this line, like this
That
little
ring
rim
line,
right
right?
there. But on a mason jar, on a quart jar, it's got the numbers that run along the side, and then there's one right up in here that's a little raised line,
Yep.
and
That's
it's
what
not
I do.
all the way up, but it still sits down low. So it's like, man, I feel like I'm not giving them all the honey they should get.
Well, that's like now that 1 pounder that you have right there. If you fill it to the fill line, right at the fill line, you're going to be at 1 pound. I try to keep it around 0.2 ounces, I guess you would call it. 2/10 of an ounce, I guess, would be the right mathematical saying. And then if a 2 pounder, if you fill it to the fill ring, it's a lot. It is over. It's almost a whole ounce over. And I come, it's like the shoulders come up and then you have the neck of the bottle. I come up within about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch to the neck. And that's exactly just a hair over 2 pounds. And the 3 pounder is the same way. Actually, there's like, I get this one. It's, got like, honeycomb, octagons on there right at the top. You, take and, it's about a half an inch below the neck.
Ziggy James buys his jars really inexpensive from somewhere in Canada. It's pretty. I thought it was cheap, but then by the time I had the shipping and everything to get it here to the States, it would be higher. But in Canada, I think it would be different. I just used the bottom rim last lip on the, so the same thing, the little big
The fill ring.
All right, yeah, that's what I try to do. The problem is, like today, what I bottled those quarts up because I had run it through the strainer, and then I put it in my bottling tank, and the lady was coming, and then the honey she got had a bunch of air bubbles in it. So I know when those air bubbles come up, the level's going to drop, right? So I went ahead and put a little bit extra in there just to make sure that when the air came out, it looked like it was
yeah,
terrible.
when I do the quarts, I kind of do like Charlie. I go to 45 ounces. That's what I go to, 45 ounces on the quarts.
Yeah. Well, I got this little.
I have to buy blank labels.
I'll go get it. Yeah.
I buy blank labels because the place where I buy them, they wanted to sell me 3-pound labels for the quart jars. And I said, there's not 3 pounds of honey in there.
I print these on my printer back here. These labels. Made them myself with Avery. Avery has. I want to order them from another company, but for right now, I'm not producing enough honey to worry about the labels that much. I mean, most people they would rather buy pint mason jars and now quarts. They're like, you got quarts? I'm like, well, yeah, I'll get some and do it. But again, 8 pints is the same as 4 quarts, but now you got 8 jars, like almost a whole case of jars burn up. And, so your input cost on the jars are cheaper. The honey is the same. So you end up making more money on selling a larger thing if you're getting the same amount per pound. A pint of honey weighs 1 pound 4 ounces. Really? I thought it was 1.5 pounds. I've been selling like 1.5 pounds. I sell it at 1.5 pounds pricing. So
I never weighed a pint. I don't sell pints, so I don't worry about it.
you can get a case of pint jars for around $11, $12 at Walmart. And
Let's see. I got
for
this
piece.
little scale here, little digital scale.
Yeah, I got one like that in the kitchen I use for shipping.
Yeah, it's not a. It's good for the bottles. That's as far as the range of this thing, and it prints out. I can tear it, the bottle, and then I just, I'll set up for, let's say, 1 pound or some plastic or whatever, and I just, because every time you're a little over, that's that much more honey that you're giving.
Yeah, you give an ounce away every time, and all of a sudden, after 16 bottles, you've given a whole pound away.
Yeah, I mean, I still, like I say, I got that right there. It's got a glass top. And then you were talking about the quart jars.
Now, do you feel the little thing on the around? You got the opening at the top, and then it starts to widen. And around where it starts to widen, there's a little glass line on there. Or mine is raised on my ball mason jars I just bought. You don't feel it? Let me go get one to show you what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm too old to be running back and forth.
All my jars are smooth. I don't have anything on them. First thing on them is the ring, the fill ring.
Yeah, because if you look at here,
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get this tilted right. Right there is a fill ring. Now there is a line right here, right there where my finger is. And right below that, it says 3 cups is here. And I'm going to say 24 ounces. Yeah, you got the same. Yeah, you got that line right there.
So is that the 4 cup line? Or is that?
Well, do you see that ring right there? That's the fill ring.
That's where I fill it to.
Yeah,
so that's the quart measurement right to there.
Yep, that's what I do.
Okay.
And I think you'll find if you measure, I can guarantee you the fill ring, it will come out to 2 pounds and 3/4, 2 pounds 3/4, or
that sounds right.
12 ounces.
So the only thing I can figure is this
27.
2.5
That's
cups,
45 ounces.
3 cups, 3.5 cups, 4 cups.
Agreed.
Which is, it says 8, 16, 24 ounces. So this would be 36 ounces right to there by this. Not honey weight, but whatever weight, I guess.
Fluid ounces.
Fluid ounces. Oh, hold on. We're doing it wrong. James, it's in milliliters. You need to come help us out.
Well, anyway, I measure them, and if you go to that fill line, it's 2 pounds 3/4 of a pound, 2 3/4 pounds. So I charge $27.50. I had one guy call me up. I said, "Yeah, do you fill quarts?" I said, "Yeah, I'll fill quarts as long as they're clean." How much? $27.50. Okay, we'll see you later. It's like, whatever.
No,
it ain't gonna be no
round it up,
$10.
dude,
It ain't gonna be
$30.
no, yeah, really.
That means you're getting $12 a pound instead of $10 a pound.
Well, that's true.
I do $10.
Yeah, I only have. I got one lady that brings in like half-gallon jars. I got 2 of them sitting on my table right now. They're $115 for 2 of them. But she's the only one that gets quarts or glass. She'll bring her own stuff in.
Do any of you guys sell 1/2 or 5-gallon buckets?
I don't.
I don't sell
Because
5
they'll
gallon.
want you to sell them a 5-gallon bucket for like $200-300, and I can turn a 5-gallon bucket into $600. So unless they're going to pay me $600 for it, No can do, Kimasabi. we got to make that money. So
Yeah, really.
All honey left over, so I don't know.
hey, it don't go bad. It'll still be fall honey this fall. This fall it'll still be fall. You'll be the first one with fall honey this fall. It'll just be last year's fall honey.
Pretty hard now.
Warming cabinet for the win.
That's
Chicken
right.
incubator.
Now Ziggy's fills them up to 1/4 inch to the top, which is 720 grams. Well, I don't know.
Well, they got a bunch of bee police in Canada, though.
Oh yeah, that's right. They do.
Like everything. You hear Alex, oh, I can't sell queens. I gotta be approved to sell queens. You're selling it within your own country. And who's gonna turn you in? Don't sell to the inspector, sell to somebody else that comes up. You know what I mean? Hey, if I went to Joseph's yard in Alabama and I said, hey, Joseph, I need a queen. He's like, all right, I got one. And I handed him money and that queen landed in my hand. Then what's to say that's no longer Joseph's queen? When the guy comes up, whose queen is that? Well, that's my queen. I brought her from South Carolina. Now, you know what I mean? It's like
the cage.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. I mean,
yeah, but you know something? That's like in Pennsylvania. They're real sticklers about you can, what is it, Flip? You can package your honey as long as it's, but if you try to put it out on a storefront, they got to come and inspect your honey house or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah,
can't have no cats or dogs around inside that area, which I understand that.
I can sell it
and
from
then,
I can sell it from the house, and that's about it.
Yeah, and then what is it? I don't know. I think Westchester was talking about you in order to actually put honey in a jar, you're supposed to get the health inspection sticker and all that stuff, and it's worse than Maryland.
Well, you saw. I mean, today I sold. Let me see, 4 pints, 4 quarts. No, I'm sorry, 5 pints and 4 quarts. So
you did well.
Yeah, for not. Lady said I came by earlier and nobody came out. Oh, that's because we were in the back making more honey. You know, so
how many frames?
Bob, are you in a location where you can put a kiosk up?
Probably if I wanted it to be in somebody's 4x4 going down the road or drug with a chain behind somebody's truck. You talking about a just like an honor system box?
Yeah.
I probably could if I actually put that box close to my house where I've got a drive through, right? Where they can drive up in front of the house and drive back out. But if I put it up there, like back, like the door facing, if you had to come in my driveway to get it, probably could get away with it. But if I put it up next to the road, there's people walking up and down that street all the time. It would be empty and no money left in there probably.
Yeah.
I should just run an extension cord, get me one of them. And I got that big oak tree, right? I could just chain a vending machine to that oak tree and then let people come by and hit the little ATM machine on the vending machine and get a bottle of honey.
Actually, that's what Robbie does. He came up with that
like the flea market or some market, an Amish market or something. He puts a vending machine in there with a bunch of 1 pound bottles in there, and
he did that, but it didn't seem to go over very well as what he thought and all. He got married this week.
I saw that. Did he? I mean, he still got that machine, or is he?
I guess he does. I don't know. I haven't seen him. I don't get this. He only about 40 minutes from my house, but don't see him. He's always running around. But yes,
we don't have an inspector here. We don't.
Dan Weaver was talking there where you sell it from your house in PA, you don't have to have all the other restrictions and stuff.
Right.
That's what I do. I sell it right here.
Well, today I made about close to $300
Nice.
sitting right here. So it's like, do I
Place
need?
Well, I mean, as far as going to a flea market or a farmer's market, they want their cut and whatever. And you got all that time. They want you there like at the crack of dawn. Like, forget
So
that.
I had a lady that showed up on the at the back door where we were extracting the honey out, and she said, "You got any honey?" Sure, I do. And I went and got some. And this is why honey is so expensive. And I showed her. I said, "This one piece of equipment was $4,000." And she's like, "Oh, okay." So I think people, they don't see that back end of that. Chris is picking up a nuke right now.
Yep. Hey, the bug man, Chris.
Yep. Pretty dark out here. I'm gonna be switching into a nuke box.
You're switching a nuke box in. I know you were getting one. I didn't know you were going to flip it over today.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna put them right in there. Why they're docile.
Well, show us what you got.
Yeah.
It's a pretty heavy box too. Let's see. I don't know if my light's bright enough out there, but I'll see what I can do for you guys. You guys see that?
Looks like an easy nuke.
Yeah. So
Blow it up, Bob.
I'm just gonna be putting it inside of nuke box here for temporary purposes until I get another 10 frame. So got my smoker going. Of course, Bob, I always get dressed up, but
You got to flip your camera around.
yeah, I don't know how to do that with this stupid phone. Let's see what I can do here. Hold on.
Now you're taking schools of Bob's video editing.
All right.
Let me see if I can bring you up on this trash can right here. And
All right.
yeah, it looks pretty good actually.
Real good.
All right. Let's see what we got inside.
You're gonna have a bunch of pissed off bees in your face. What you're gonna have when you bring them out to that light? Possibly.
Oh, this thing is full.
Where'd you get that at?
Oh,
Mentor.
Mentor.
about us.
You ain't got no smoke in that smoker. I can tell you that.
What's that?
I say your smoker's not lit.
Yeah, it is.
Barely.
I don't
get
get it.
out of that thing at all.
I broke out the big smoker today. It was lit for about 5 minutes. Sam lit his. It stayed lit all day long.
Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna move this over a bit.
It's time to get up. You hear the rooster crowing.
First thing, Hive tool.
Hey, show us down inside the box before you start peeling it apart.
All right, hold on. There you go.
So did he explain to you why he had this extra nuke?
Well, the person that ordered it did not come and get it.
I don't see in between.
Yeah, let me open up one of the frames. Hold on.
They clustered down in there, it looks like. I got about 10 Hive tools sitting in the yard still from today, seems like.
All right, that's a honey frame right there.
Should have brought it with you. We'd have uncapped it today.
I know, that's all honey right there now.
So you got 2 food and 3 brood. That's the third shift rooster, Keith said. So Chris is waiting on some more boxes to show up. That rooster's confused.
My nuke boxes have shrunk a little bit inside them. I can't get these frames even in my boxes.
Too short? You be
I
taking
think-
one of your swarm traps out.
I know, right? I might have to do that. Let me put that back in there for right now.
You got a double screen board?
I got the screen boards. I just don't have
No, a double screen bottom board.
no, I don't have that. Just my boxes of. See my boxes I made? They must have swelled up a little bit. I can't get these frames in this box into my box. My frames are fitting in it fine. The ones I have fit in it fine.
So what you gonna do? Leave them in there overnight?
Yeah, just leave them over there. Open up the front door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to see how to open up the front door.
I always had to. I don't know. No, it's not. That's
These
the
things are
vent.
weird.
Isn't that
It's one of those easy to do.
isn't that a Jester nuke?
Thought it had a little thing that you popped out on the front.
It's right
there.
on the front there. It's kind of like you have to take your hook on your Hive tool and kind of get up underneath of it, and it kind of flips up like a angle. It's on the bottom.
Yeah, there's not on this one for some reason.
How about on the other end?
Yep.
Ta-da!
Imagine that, right? All right, we'll spin her around.
Let's take a look at it. Show it to me. Right there. Camera down. That's
There
right.
you
Now
That's
flip.
where-
It's not open. Flip it up. It kind of goes like an angle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like,
it's this right here.
and then they come out on both sides. Like,
Got a lot of dead bees sitting at the entrance, though.
they'll push them out.
Yeah, they'll get the. Let me fix this here.
You know, those nuke boxes cost as much as a pro nuke does.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah, that's
$18 a piece.
There you go.
Can't see them.
No, they're all right. Now you're moving it.
Hold on. All right, gotta get my camera right.
Yeah, there it is. Yep, that's it. That's how you do it.
So they're open now. So
They'll come out in the morning, stretch their
Yeah,
wings, take a dookie, and be good to go.
well, they're right where I'm gonna put them. It's just for some reason my boxes that I made don't fit their frames. I don't get it because of the regular frames. Shit. I mean, these are all regular frames. That's what I just took out of it to put the ones that are drawn up. And you can see the girls there.
Now, to give you a story on Chris here, he had one colony coming to the winter, and all those colonies are swarm captures except for that one that he just got right there that was a nuke.
So this is my original one right here. And this one with that nuke cover I was telling you about. It's a Be Smart,
Yeah.
and it's a airflow one. It just breathes that they can't come in and out, but it has enough gap in the cover
To let some air flow through.
Yep.
And
I put
does
those
yours
on my
have the
big ones.
feeder hole in the top that you can put that Be Smart feeder or whatever they call it on top?
Yeah, I got a drone sitting right here talking to me. See if he see, there he is. He decided to say hi. But yeah, this is a 8,000 lumen light I have out here. To
8,000 lumens. It's like a football field out there.
Looks
yeah, you
good.
see how well it lights up my hives.
You don't get bees flying around the lights?
Yeah, they get up there. Here. Hopefully I don't blind you guys.
Yeah, I see them flying around and walking around. I do that too.
Yeah, I don't want to blind you guys because that's I don't even look at it because it's that it lights up my whole yard though.
Cajun said he just bought 5 of those. They're great top covers, but they're not flat, right?
Well, you can make them flat if you want. These are adjustable ones.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, because mine, you know how much crap I leave on the top of my colonies.
Yep. But as you can see, the girls are all out, so they're just chilling. I just want to let you know I got back safely, apparently, huh?
Yes, sir. Looks good. Looks like you made it. And thanks again for all your help today.
Hey, no problem. But I do have my new oil-based bottom board, but these are what I was talking about. Yeah, I got all the bottom boards?
Yeah, I do need some. Those are the ones you get with your kit, and then you swap them out for the other one.
Yes. And what I'll do is I'll bring those up next time, and since you use them, I don't.
Sounds like a plan, because I can use some more. I need some more.
All right. Well, the bees are trying to come in my shed now since I'm in here. I got somebody on my head.
Charlie disappeared. Flip disappeared. He's in the dark over there.
In the dark.
Joey's muted.
Oh, is he?
He's got his mute on.
Yeah, they got the TV going in the next room.
This is my baby right here.
Table saw?
Yeah, it's industrial. So let me log off here and get inside and get some washed up and stuff. And it was great working with you today, Bob.
Yeah, I had a good time, man. You're welcome here anytime, especially when you're working for free.
Well, you paid me with a hamburger. I mean, that's
hamburger
good.
and free drinks all day long, and
oh yeah,
he don't eat honey, so
nope. Matter of fact, I brought you some honey.
and he brought me honey and eggs. Man,
that dude does not want me so much. He's trying to get me.
I got a stinger in my finger still from today. I got stung like twice in my fingers because I didn't have the gloves on.
Oh yeah. Well, I got like.
We got a few of them flying around in there.
I've got 10 of them up at my light up there now.
It's the night shift at the honey plant. What do you
I know, right? All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right, see you later.
Look at that comment down there.
Yeah, that's a can of worms right there. Why is that when they sell honey in the grocery, they're adding extra sugar? It's straight out of the drug dealer playbook. They're taking a raw product and diluting it and selling it for the same. Well, actually, they're selling it cheaper, but it is a cheaper product, substandard. It just gives them more volume, so they make more money by selling it. I have 3 chickens still. All my other chickens got wiped out, but I still got 3 of the chicks. I think it's 1 rooster and 2 hens. They're still kind of young.
Yeah, most of that honey, I call it Chinese honey. It's either coming from Argentina, India,
Brazil, somewhere like that.
Mexico, and they're importing China honey in because they're not allowed to sell it in the United States. And then they put it under their label.
They transship it.
And then you like you say, you get there. I've seen on some of the labels, yeah, pure honey, and it'll say 80% honey and 20% corn, syrup.
I love when they go to. I love it when they go over to Costco and the bottle says local raw honey, and you flip it around and it says bottled in Parker, Colorado. I'm like, oh, awesome. It is local to somebody, just not the person bought it. It's local to Brian at Flower Street Farms.
Well, they say it's bottled. It doesn't tell you where it came from to the bottling plant.
Right. Let's see.
Y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. I just dropped in to say hey to everybody.
Well, we appreciate you for sure. Have you already pulled all your honey?
I hadn't pulled any honey. I didn't have any honey to pull.
Come on, man. You got honey. I know you got some honey.
I'm gonna check it this week. But before I left on my vacation a couple of weeks ago, I didn't have anything.
I think Lee was saying his tallow was starting up, but I don't know that to be a fact.
And then
Started, and then they just haven't capped it all off. So I had to close it back up. I don't know how much I ended up with.
I got 1 or 2 hives I think I'll get some honey out of because it's some that I put together. So it made them good and strong. They had to move honey out of their way. But unless they brought a lot in while I was gone 2 weeks, I'm not going to have much.
Well, Dennis, I hope you have something different than I have. There's nectar in the boxes. It's just not ready to go yet. Or it's got nectar mostly with a little patch of drone brood in the corner or a patch of brood in the middle of it. Yeah, Rick here. Hey, Rick.
Hey, man.
Long time
What's
no
going
see.
on?
Oh, we're just, boo-hooing about bad honey flows and,
Oh,
I'll
really?
see y'all later.
All right, Joey. See you later, brother. Yeah, it hadn't been that good here this year.
Oh, wow. It's been pretty good here. I've been selling these for like $5.
What the hell is that?
It didn't have any honey in it. It's an empty container.
You've been selling empty containers for $5?
No,
Because if
I
that's
charge them, but that's how I sell it. I tell them that the container cost me $5, so sell me $5, and it'll be full of honey.
why would you? That's a big old bottle for $5.
Yeah, they probably ought to charge 10 for it.
This is $10 right here. 1 pound.
what size bottle is that there, Rick?
That looks like a 2-pound bottle.
At least.
That should be a $20 bottle of honey all day, every day, at least.
This may be the wrong bottle. I may have picked up the wrong bottle. I think I got another one over here. Got some other ones. Nope, that's something else. I got that stored everywhere.
Sound like me. I got my bottling tank in there, warming up. Tallow's gone to seed, he said. Lee went down to Alabama with the banjo on his knee today.
How's he getting along?
He's doing good. He's working a lot.
That's good.
But he went down to go see Ed down there, son of one, and then saw Grammy and Bruce too, I guess. Hey, was you Bruce's free labor for today? You drove all that way to be free labor for Bruce? I'm just picking on you, Lee. I don't think I thought Bruce said he was doing honey next weekend. He's still in Alabama now. You going to see? I thought Gunline said they was coming on here. You going to see Gunline tomorrow? He tried. Oh, okay. He tried to get you to extract some honey.
I've already got 150 pounds.
That's pretty good.
But that's just for this year. I mean, you know, I imagine it'll probably be another 250 come off this fall.
How many colonies you running?
4.
And you've got 150 so far? Have you pulled all the honey off of those colonies, or you just...
I pulled all of it.
I'm surprised you pulled it already.
But
because you're up north and they're just really getting started good, aren't they?
Yeah. I think it was last year's, what was left over from last year.
Let me see.
So I got a little bit.
Have you used a refractometer on that uncapped? No, I did the good old shake test, and if anything came out of it, it went back in the colony. I didn't use it on that today. I mean, there's probably some that I could have pulled, but I was getting frustrated because anything that looked good from the top from honey, you'd pull it up, and there'd be a pattern of brood right in the middle of it. I'm like, come on, man, you're killing me with this new bees. What do you want new bees for? Put them down below. You know, you guys got to be in the bottom. What are you doing 3 supers up at the top? So, I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, Alex.
Maybe I just need to charge everybody double saying we didn't get a good flow. So honey just doubled in price today.
Or maybe you ought to put a queen excluder in.
Dude, I had them in there and they weren't coming up. Even with
and you were drawing wax out, right?
I had some drawn wax up there. Now there's plenty of
No. You were putting in empty foundation to get them to draw the wax out.
Yeah, I started pulling some of that off today even. It's like they're not going to get to that. They just pull that out, put it back in the building. It was just
I checked those last 5 boxes. You know, I figured, well, you know, if they are building wax up on top of the frames, but they haven't done anything. Like you say, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, that'll be the first boxes you take off and put away.
I thought about going and shaking them all back down again. I've done that so many times this year. Shake them back down. Put the queen excluder on. Well, they're not working the super. So now we'll take that queen excluder back off, and maybe they'll go up there and start putting something up there. Yeah, they do. Babies. That's what she puts up there. Everything. Not no damn honey. So that was my frustration for today. I was like, man, go through 35 colonies and they're going to explode. That's perfect. But
are those Italian bees or are they Russian?
I got Italian and Carniolans.
Okay. Russians have a habit of putting their honey on the bottom and putting all their brood up top.
Some of, I mean, I felt like, you ever watch 300 when he kicks the guy down the well? The movie The 300? That's what I felt like doing. This is Sparta, kicking the stack of bee boxes over. I was getting so mad. But what can you do? Just walk away. They're Spanky. Spanky. Feeling better, brother?
A little bit, yeah.
That's good stuff, man. Lagrange. Spent 10 hours setting up 24 nukes.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. I just wanted to say hi to Bob again.
All right, Rick.
See you, Rick.
See you.
Congratulations on your 150 pounds.
Thank you.
Yep. In and out. Gone. Doing mite washes. You see, 10 hours setting up 24 nukes, placing queen cells, and doing mite washes. You guys are busy. Well, we were there, I don't know, around 11 until about 6 is what we were outside. And Chris left later than that. We were just shooting the breeze and talking about work. But it was not the day I had anticipated. I'll just reiterate that.
Yeah, we just come in just a few minutes ago.
Did get to play with the new uncapper, so that was okay. But now I got to go back and watch the video on how to adjust everything, and then I'll call Spanky down from North Carolina so he could re-engineer the whole damn thing for me so it actually works.
Hey, you want some labor? Just come get me.
I can drive 2.5, 3
There
hours,
you go.
get you 3 hours back.
That'll be the payment.
Hey, that'll be watch. One day he'll be surprised. I'll have like a long
No.
weekend. I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna show up at Spanky's house and be like, get in the truck. And he'll say, what do you mean get in the truck? You told me to come get you, and if I brought you down there, you'd work.
Yeah, we can't forget the duct tape though for my suit.
Oh man.
The elastic's worn out on the band on the armbands.
I got plenty of suits. You wouldn't even have to bring a suit. I
don't know about that.
I got Guardians. I've got.
How big?
Well, I'm 6'2".
I'm not talking about height. I'm talking about waist.
Waist or stomach? That's two different things. Come.
Both.
Oh, I don't know.
The way them full suits are made, the waist is a stomach.
So, we'll use James as a reference. His waist fits perfect. His stomach doesn't fit perfect in his flow suit. I hope he's listening and just laughing in the background. I doubt he is, but
yeah, we was working on the mower all day today.
Did you get it running?
Come. Yeah, and then found out going to have to replace all the belts on it. Went to go up a hill and it wouldn't do nothing. Well, the tires are now getting traction. It just sits there with me on it. I'm too heavy. It's the belt slipping, drive belt. I said, that ain't going to work.
So I'm 6'2", like 255. So I don't know if you're bigger than that. I'm not asking if you're bigger than that. Probably don't have something to fit you. If you're smaller than that, you probably fit right in.
I'm 5'10", and I'm trying to get down. I'm about down to 300 now. I was at like 350. I'm trying to lose some weight.
I was up there. You saw my big boy picture.
Yeah, doctor told me to lose some weight. I've been listening to her diet. She told me to do.
What's the cat looking in the side?
But yeah, he bush hogged down there. All that briars and shit off. Then we went and put out that 50-pound bag of buckwheat and the 2.5 pounds of mustard I bought.
How's your bees doing?
I mean, they're busy bees. You go out there and look at them. I ain't got a chance to go back in them. But
mine look busy too. On the outside, on the inside, it's like, what are y'all doing in here? Just playing PlayStation or something? Because they ain't.
Whenever I pulled them frames that other day, whenever I was doing that live, there wasn't no brood on the end. It was all nectar.
Yeah, that's pretty much the ones that we pulled were off the outsides of the boxes, and a few frames out of this colony, a few frames out of that colony, and I don't know if I'm going to replace them or not. I'm not buying any queens to replace them. If I do, I'll make a starter finisher, and Lord knows I got plenty of cat brood to make something. I got plenty of that. I had the first ever starter finisher that's in a medium box. Just a single medium. I'll just put the top bar with some queen cells on it.
I've done that. It works.
Single.
Well, maybe two mediums.
So it'll be the second ever.
The second ever.
So Flip, you got how many? Looks like you had a lot of double, triple stack nukes back there in the back lot. Nucleus hives.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do. I like nukes.
I mean, it looked like to me you had 5 over 5 or maybe 15.
Oh, I
Three
got 50.
boxes.
I've got 20.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I've done that.
they make a lot of honey that way.
I had one there today. I actually put they were looked like they were making honey, so I put some foundation on 'em. Whether
No.
they do anything with it, who knows?
Hey, you'll get foundation at least because that's the way I make foundation in my nuke boxes.
Right. How many honey hives do you got? You got 10 framers, I guess.
8. I use all 8.
Okay.
8. I have some 10 Apomize, but I really don't like them that much.
Really? That's the best thing since sliced bread. What are you talking about? Everybody loves Apame. You can watch every channel. They got them stacked up everywhere in their yards. That's
Sorry,
the
man.
best thing ever.
I don't care for them.
That
Now,
the flow
why
hive.
do you say that? I got to ask you, why do you say that? Because I don't have one. My thing was I thought they were overpriced. But other than the price, what do you not like about them?
The price is overpriced, but they're not insulated enough for our area as far as I'm concerned. The upper feeders I don't really care for. In the wintertime, I got to take the feeders off and I put that double bubble over top. Otherwise, it's just way too much moisture and it ends up killing the colonies.
And I think Brian from Castle Hives did the same thing that they've come out with a different feeder, like a regular top hive feeder from what I've seen, I think it was.
It's way too much ventilation, and I think they lose too much heat out the top.
Yeah, they got a lot of ventilation about it.
I go with no ventilation at the top over the winter. It seems to help a lot.
No ventilation?
0. Just insulation. Lots of insulation. I use that pink foam board.
Right. What do you got? A real deep telly cover? You
Right,
put the foam up underneath there.
Basically. For the winter.
Huh?
The summertime, they're just regular covers, but the wintertime, I put that, I forget what do they call it, formula or something, the pink panther stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I usually put top them for the winter.
What's wrong with YouTube? Yesterday I was at 2490. Today I'm at 2486. Lost 4 subs. And today was a pretty good day as far as
How many people you have down there helping you today?
I had Chris and Sam came over. Just us 3.
They unsubbed their 2 channels. They said they're done.
I wouldn't surprise me. Everybody thinks everybody else is dumb.
I don't know about that.
Let me see. I tell you what, but that uncapper, I mean, I like it. I mean,
look nice.
I just got to get it tweaked in, and then it'll be good. I hope.
It's definitely fast.
Yeah, as fast as you can.
You're gonna have to have somebody. If somebody's cranking, you got to have somebody keep filling that thing. You know.
Lowe's isn't far from us, Keith. It's right down the street. It's on the same road, basically. So it was, yeah. I mean, 5. You could put 5 frames on there, and technically, if you had it stacked up or something lifted up, I could take one at a time and crank and add one, crank and add one. You could do it, but
you just need to add a motor on there.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I already had a mirror. Was like, I can make a motor on that thing with a sensor, so when it runs out of frames, it stops running. And I'm like, okay. He said I could probably do it for about $70 worth of parts. I'm like, well, you come over and take a look at this thing and see
what they want, like $3 more $1,000 or something for the one that had the motor.
2 more thousand, and more shipping, right?
Well, of course, that extra weight.
Yeah, more weight. So, but the thing is, it is better. Aside from the motor, when I say better, I mean you got the blades that move back and forth, but then it also has basically that simple harmony uncapper underneath it. So anything that didn't get cut off would be sliced by those blades in there. So you would never have to have somebody on the other end using the fork to pick cappings off.
Now, is that the one with the power that has that?
Yeah, it's $2,000 more, but I'm not, I don't have it like that. So I'm happy to have what I have, and I still don't like the straining part of it as far as the filtering of the way I'm doing that part of it. But maybe, who knows? Maybe next year that'll come along. And I just gotta tweak it. There's a video. Matter of fact, they don't send you instructions on the packaging. There's a QR code that says scan for instructions, and then it shows you everything. So
yeah, Brian's selling espresso honey out there tonight.
In honey caramels. Yeah, I like the uncapper. It's of course we cut the video when I got the frame stuck in there, but
hey Ed.
it was a plastic frame, and it was a medium when we had been running deeps, and I didn't lift up the guide right, so somehow it got cockeyed in there a little bit, and then and I found out I had a blowout on a deep frame that had fishing line in it that I didn't realize that it was fishing line in there, but uncapped it. But once I hit it in the spinner, blew it out.
That'll mess your honey up right there. I had a blowout and I couldn't get the wax out of it. That honey sat for a year and still had wax all in it.
And there's Mr. Ed. Ed, did you do free extraction today? Was you a free extraction service? Hey, I'm gonna grab a drink. Y'all chat amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
So how many honey hives you got, Flip?
I'd say you're around 10.
Well, you're about like I am. I got a dozen.
Yeah.
I got a dozen. Well, actually, I had 10 last year, and I upped it to 12 for this year. And
I hope to get about 1,000 pounds this year.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for also.
What do you got? A lot of locusts in your area, or what else you got?
Locust. Yeah, that autumn olive is big for us. I got a lot of that.
I've heard. That's not around here. I don't what that looks like.
And this border privet's coming on right now. I have a lot of that here.
They say they got privet around here, but where I live, it's just not around that I see.
My phone says border privet. I don't know what the difference is, but there's some cold. They're not on.
Bob talks about it, and there's a privet tree, and then there's a privet bush, I think.
This is more of a bush.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the sumac's going to be coming on here shortly.
Yeah, that stuff's got buds here.
Yeah.
Now,
Sumac makes a nice.
I mean, we were talking about that last night. Now, to me, sumac, that was a poisonous plant or something.
It is.
It's different. There's different sumacs.
Yep.
And all.
And
black here.
Real strong right now. And they say that they run that primrose, but I don't see much from that primrose. They're not on it.
That's like I have a catalpa tree in the front yard here. It's great big, and it's so dry here. The bloom it lasted a week or two, and that was the end of that. It's all gone, and I really didn't see the last couple of years. I've really watched it, and it seemed like the bees don't really work it that well. So,
well, that's like they talk about the bees working dandelions. My bees don't touch dandelions.
Yeah, they might start.
Why.
I don't know. I don't really look at the dandelions. I don't really have a lot of them anyway. But
Yeah.
I got privet and mimosa right now.
now, see, like a mimosa tree, we had one of those here that was planted my grandmother, I guess, planted it, and it
Mistake.
finally died out, and we cut it down years ago. But it sounds like down in your area that they're everywhere.
Yep.
Not around here. You might see one here and there if it was planted by somebody.
You're lucky.
Yeah, same. We don't have very many, but there's a few.
Yeah, they're here all in the woods. That's how bad they are. I walked out clear, and all it was mimosa trees coming up. That's all it was, clear little mimosa trees everywhere.
Was it the honey? What's the honey like? Is it do you have any? Does it have a distinctive taste or anything? You know?
If it has, I haven't
It tastes like my honey.
Because most of the time, unless you know this specific frame's mimosa, you just blend them together, you know.
Right.
When you extract them.
I got trees. I probably got 5 or 6 of these right surrounding my property. Big ones like that. Well,
what about tulip poplar, Charlie?
Yeah, it's over with. It was here 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's one of our bigger. I don't know. Some people say the bees don't go after it. Some people say they do.
Yeah, I don't know if they do or not.
I think we got froze out. I think they got burnt.
No, they didn't do that here. I mean, we had great big yellow blossoms on the poplar trees. I mean, but that's pretty much done too. So I mean, May, you got your locusts, and sometimes your poplar trees kind of coincide with each other. And then this year, I think the poplar was a little bit later, maybe a week later after locust was fading out. And then there was cherry tree, kind of looked like those tallows, because Brad showed us what a tallow is, like a little finger looking thing. And we got these trees here that I think they're wild cherries, the same kind of looking, sort of a similar bloom look to it. I know it's not tallow. We don't have anything like that around here.
Oh, we can make that happen. We can get somebody to send you some tallow seeds, probably.
It'll probably die off in the winter.
I don't know. I guess that's a southern thing, I guess, for us.
Yeah, we don't have any.
But anyway, the poplar's pretty much done now. The locust has been done.
What color is that honey that you get poplar? What color is it?
Well, if you get a true poplar, it'll be sort of like a ruby red look.
Like kind of an amber?
It's a dark amber, but
we had some like that.
If you put it in the sunlight, it'll sort of have a reddish tint to it.
Yep.
Yeah, we had some like that, and my grandma said that tastes like poplar honey.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It's butter.
And then the locusts, I mean, I don't know. I think the locust and the poplar sort of mix, but it's like Bob. My honey looks like Bob's honey. And all. It's real sweet tasting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whenever we did the extraction in, I think, August of last year, we had like 3 boxes, and each one was a different color. One was a light color, one was that amber color, and another one was dark. Each box was a different color.
And dark probably is buckwheat or something like that.
No, it was too early for buckwheat. But I've had buckwheat. We planted the common buckwheat before, and it was black. You look in a frame and you go, that's. But this buckwheat I've planted, supposedly it has a lighter amber color.
I don't know. I mean, around here, the farmers used to plant buckwheat, like a grain crop. And but that stuff is like molasses.
Molasses, right?
And it tastes like mud.
That's that knotweed, Charlie?
Huh?
You have knotweed?
Not that I know of.
Oh, well, that's pretty big up here.
We got some kind of vetch mixed in with the weeds.
I don't know.
I don't know what kind of vetch it is.
I don't know. I'm just going to like I say, I'm going to go to the end of the month this year, and I haven't been into as far as my honey hives, as far as tearing them apart. I haven't done that in the last 3 weeks. I've been in the hay fields the last couple weeks, and this week was, well, we weren't farming or anything this week, so, which is nice. But, I got one hive that had queen cells in it that was making their own queen. I got to thinking about it this afternoon after I'd come in. I said, well, maybe I'll go out there tomorrow and check that hive, see whether they went and queened themselves. I had a nuke that was queenless, even though I had put a virgin or something in there. I forget now. So I found a frame of eggs and brood and larvae, and I said, all right, put that in there. Keep them from going land worker. Maybe they'll make their own queen cell.
Yeah, you don't want to shake them.
I saw one mite today too, Lagrange. It was on a bee. I said, look, Charlie, there's a varroa mite right on that bee right there. He's like, yeah, that is a varroa mite. I'm like, I'll treat him as soon as the honey flows over, whatever that is. Might be over already.
How much land do you got around your house, Bob?
The guy that owns the property behind me owns 14 acres that surround my property. And then there's lots of woods around. So, yeah.
I was going to say, if you've got the land cleared, you ought to plant you a cover crop.
Well, the land right next to me, I could throw whatever I want out there. The guy don't do anything with it. He don't mow it or do anything. If anything,
I thought he did about a month ago.
No, that's the guy on the other side of that, the one that was clearing the land. The funny thing is, he did all that work, but his mobile home still isn't over there. So I don't know if that fell through. I haven't even seen them because they were coming and working out there and everything. So I don't know if that fell through or what. But
yeah, as far as linden trees, I don't have any linden trees around here. It's usually oak and
basswood, isn't it? Linden and basswood are the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Basswood's the same.
That's more up there where Flip's at, right?
Yeah. Basswood, linden, they're the same thing.
I know everybody wants that sourwood.
Well,
that's a southern thing. That's in Virginia, Carolinas.
Yeah, if you go up in the mountains and find them.
It's up in the mountains, right?
I had somebody find them and tried planting them down in the field, but they died. They was like, yeah, we'll plant them in like, I don't know how many years it takes for it to get mature enough to bloom.
I could probably get them to grow here, but I'd have to get some.
That field's very, what is it? I can't remember if it's acidic or basic, whatever holly trees like. That's what that field is.
Yeah.
It says sourwood is found from southwest Pennsylvania to southern Ohio and southern Indiana, south to southeastern Louisiana, and the coastal region of Mississippi, Alabama, and northwest Florida, west to western Kentucky and Tennessee, and to the Delta in Mississippi, and east to the Atlantic coast from southern Virginia. So basically, yeah, all of us from basically the east coast of Louisiana up through West Virginia, kind of going up.
Kind of a mountain tree, I guess.
Well, they say it's around here. I mean, by their map, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's not around here that I know.
It's got to be up high. What Bob Benny said, it has to be up in 1,300 feet or better.
That makes sense because a lot of those places that it shows are mountainous.
Oh, there went Charlie.
Charlie he clipped the wrong button.
He'll be back. But yeah, get you a bulk bag of some cover crop, throw it out. Extend your season.
That's right. There's some buckwheat over there.
50 pounds of buckwheat here, $89.
Clover, buckwheat.
I mean, if you
I can see me making buckwheat honey here. Probably the deer would come through and eat it all before I'd.
If you pull a few boxes of honey, that's going to cover the cost of it.
I haven't pulled a few boxes of honey on what I've already got this year. I've only pulled. Where's my spreadsheet? I had it up here. A total of 60 frames, 6 boxes.
I should be out of equipment already, and I'm not.
I'm close to out. They're not doing what they should be.
Now, do the honeybees go after watermelons, or is that just the squash bees and bumblebees?
Yeah, they'll do watermelon if there's nothing else around.
Okay.
Yeah, Jason with Bohemia Bees, he does that pollination for watermelons and stuff like that.
I'm gonna be planting some, and I didn't know if they'd be hitting them or not.
There's got to be nothing else that they want, though.
That sounds like at kudzu.
Yeah, pretty much same deal.
Well, they'll have buckwheat, so
Yeah. Well, where you're living at, Spanky, you have plenty of trees and stuff.
oh
Seems
yeah,
like-
loads of sumac and kudzu, and all this foreign stuff that got introduced.
They'll tear up sumac.
And it'll tear me up if I get near it. You want you some trees? You go out there and dig them up.
Oh, we got plenty. Trust me.
Well, isn't that the one where it's got purple honey or something like that?
Yes.
That's the kudzu.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, you don't want kudzu either.
No.
No, that darn stuff. That's what takes over the trees and everything else.
Yep, that's what I eat
House, the
south.
trees,
Like
car.
Is that a vine or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
kind
a
of like a
vine.
vine, I think. Yeah.
It rips its nitrogen out of the air. It don't need good soil. That's
Oh,
how
wow.
it grows on them trees so good.
You know, it'll kill every damn. You talk about invasive. That stuff is invasive. Something terrible.
Yeah.
I don't even know why they had it. I mean, why did they introduce it?
They
But
introduced it here supposedly for erosion control.
It
I
says
guess
during the
erosion
summer
means
months-
everything.
During the summer months here in South Carolina, kudzu can grow a foot a day.
Yep.
Wow.
Impressive.
That is impressive.
See
It
if
don't
we-
matter what the soil is. It's pulling everything it needs out of the air.
That's about as bad as some of these people around here have started planting bamboo. And you talk about invasive. That crap is invasive.
Yeah,
too.
it's coming up. It's coming up the field down there.
Well, that's what that knotweed's like, Charlie.
Is that right?
Yeah, it looks like bamboo, but it's not.
Yep, there it is.
Uh,
That looks like right down there below the house.
let me hold on. I got to bring up the other. For some reason, when I start sharing it, it's only sharing a select thing. So let me do the window. Entire
But if you-
screen. There you go.
If you can find an area big enough that the bees can't fly past, it's nothing but that, and you put them out in when it's starting to flower, you might can get you some of that
That's-
purple honey.
Vines growing over trees.
Yep,
Wow.
that's impressive.
If your cow stands still too long, it'll grow over top of the cow, probably. Let's see if there's any. Usually I like to look. Yeah, there you go. Oh, come on, really? Oh, man.
Yeah, that stuff's incredible.
Pinterest. I was trying to see that house that was covered.
And yeah, we got that wisteria here too. It's growing out there in the yard.
There's a photo. Why does it do that? It shows a big photo and then you go to the picture and it's a little tiny. Lord have mercy. Anyways, you kind of get the idea, right? There we go.
Bad news.
Holy smokes.
There you go.
Yeah, that is bad news.
But you know, now we've got the giant hogsweed coming up a few counties over from me. That stuff's worse. That stuff's probably just as bad as sumac. Another invasive thing. It can live in the seed bank in the ground for 10 years and not come up.
Are they trying to kill that there sumac and all that stuff?
Supposedly they're trying to control the giant hogsweed. I doubt they can. But if you get the sap on you, it reacts with any light, like sunlight, and it burns you.
Mm.
That guy, landscaper, he didn't know what it was, and he cut through it. It started burning him. They had him in a room in dark, lights out, in a hospital room.
Mm.
Because it reacts with sunlight. It burns you. That's how it keeps you away from it. It gets like, I think 10 foot tall because it's the giant hogsweed. And it blooms these white flowers. But it's a few counties over.
Hmm.
And of course, it's probably going to spread. Another thing you don't want to mess with.
Yeah, that sounds really invasive to yourself. I don't know. So what do they do? You have to wait for that stuff to sap to get off your skin, or you have to wash, or what?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like if you get poison oak on you, that's a resin. It don't want to come off. It's the same thing. It'll absorb in your skin. But yeah, it's bad news.
Hogweed is way worse than sumac, it says.
But I don't know if you can get the hogweed on you just from being around it. Like, if you cut sumac and you linger in the area, it starts that off gassing. I don't know if you can get the hogsweed that way. I think you have to be in direct contact with it.
Mm.
So
I don't know if the honeybees pull off of it or not, though.
You guys got anything good happening tomorrow? You still watching my screen? Good thing I didn't go to porn. Lord have mercy. I thought we stopped that screen share. I was watching Facebook, by the way.
I think I got a couple sales.
I've got one of the guys, Keith, is coming over. We're going to try to wire up the porch. So
you electrician?
I hope so.
You'll find out.
What did you on that first try around? What happened? You blow a breaker on that machine?
I had the little portable AC on the same thing, so it just drew too much current and popped the breaker.
Yeah.
So I unplugged the AC, and we wouldn't want to be comfortable and do honey. That's against the rules. So,
Well, you need that honey hot so it'll flow.
Yeah, did pretty good. I mean, it's in there right now in the bottling tank, warming up a little bit. So, gonna try to get some of the air, and if there's anything in it, floating up out of it.
Yeah, see if you've got a feed store around you where you can get some cover crop cheap. Throw it out on that land.
How long does it take for it to grow?
Well, buckwheat's a quick sprouter. That's one of the benefits to it.
Just load up their whole lot with buckwheat seeds?
Scratch it down and throw it out.
But it would be, then I'd have motor oil honey half the year.
It depends on the variety. See if you can get that Kodo. That's what I got. It's supposedly a lighter color honey. That's what everybody claims.
I saw the glasses is what made me ask Lee.
Or you can find a different cover crop that they'll eat off of, but you'll pay a lot more, like clover. You'll pay a lot more for clover.
That's what Chris was saying. He's like, man, I don't see any clover in your yard.
You have Tractor Supply?
Yeah.
They have clover there you can buy fairly inexpensively.
Yeah, but the bees around here, we got clover, and they don't seem to.
No, my don't touch it.
Well, what they'll do is they'll go out there early in the morning when it's cool and grab it. By 11 o'clock. The heat of the sun will dry up the nectar source out of that big time.
Agreed.
And then the only ones that really work it a lot is bumblebees.
Yeah.
And
I ain't never seen them honeybees hit the blackberries here.
Is that right?
Something pollinates them, but I ain't never seen them. I go out there and look in the evening, and whenever I get up in the morning, I don't see nothing flying by it, but somehow it gets pollinated.
Well, they talk about that too, where uh, sometimes it's like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock when nobody's around is when they're flying to that kind of stuff.
If
And
there's
all.
something better, they're going to go to that first. That's the way I look at it.
That's what I figured. They might be hitting a tree or something.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
They seem to like them trees. I guess they get more for their buck going to it over and over.
Yeah, I know poplars, like each blossom's like a tablespoon of nectar.
Right.
That's why it'll generate a lot of honey.
See, that's what should be blooming now for us, but I don't think it is.
Well, the poplar would be a big yellow flower,
Right, yeah.
About yay big. But like I say, right here, they were blooming 2 weeks ago, but it's gone now. Pretty much gone. You might see one here and there on a tree, but they're nothing like where they were loaded and all. So,
Yeah, I got some plums up there. I don't know. I think they might be American plums. They've created a thicket up there out of one tree, made a whole thicket of them. And everything goes to them blooms, little white blooms. You'll see everything at them. All them little solitary bees, the carpenters, the bum, everything loves them blooms. That's why I think it's the native plum.
Do you ever see them on the chestnuts? I never do. We have tons of chestnut, and I never see a bee on them.
I had bees in a chestnut grove last year, and not one of them bee hives made it.
I don't know if they hit that or not.
Mine was Chinese chestnuts.
I've seen it.
There he is.
Hello.
The man of the hour.
Wow.
That's it, man. You did all the bee work today.
I did a lot of bee work today, yes.
You didn't have to pinch any queens, right?
No.
That's good.
I actually found of my ninja queens and actually was able to mark her. But yeah,
today.
I left at 11 a.m. and I came back. It was 9:30. I set up all the nukes for every cell that was still there. There were 24 left when I got there. They were all capped. So I made 24 nukes. I might checked all 12 hives. I found one mite. That's it. And I transferred the cells from the starter finisher to each and every one of the nukes.
Oh, you got a 2-framer nuke, like mating nukes, Alex?
Yeah, most of them are 2 or 3.
Right.
Depending on how much, like I had 12 hives to draw frames from. Sorry, I'm really tired.
Now you only got 6 hives because the rest of them are all in 2 frames.
No, they were double chambered, so I removed one of the 2 chambers, left the bottom one, and added supers to all the hives.
That's right, because you're starting your flow right now, aren't you?
Yeah, and it's gonna rain for the basswood is covered in buds, and it's gonna rain for 3 days, like light rain. When it blooms, it's gonna go nuts.
Yeah. So now let's see. You pulled back your hives size wise, and you made all them splits, and then you're ready to put the queen excluder on and put the honey supers on, and then within the next week, here comes the honey.
Yeah, I'm gonna get less honey, but I really don't care. I need to get more hives.
So. I don't think so. Do that single brood chamber thing like that, and the popular,
Yeah, and what I did, like, I had enough. I have like 4 really strong hives. So what I did is I left 1 frame of brood in the honey super. Like 4 of those are deeps. So I left 1 frame of brood in each of those 4 deep honey supers. So they're like the bees have to get up and start getting ready for the basswood that's gonna come in a week, maybe 2. And when that thing pops with the rain we're gonna get, woof, it's gonna be even crazier than last year, I think.
So you're using deep honey supers
No, but I want them to draw deep for deep frames
for
for
brood.
my nukes, so they're ready for winter. So
Okay.
since the basswood flow is so insane,
It'll
uh,
draw them out. It'll draw them
yes,
out. Okay. Okay. I understand what you're doing now. It's, you got an attraction frame up there so they can get up there and then they'll pull all the rest of the wax out for you.
yeah. And once the
You're
brood hatches, they're just gonna fill it with honey. Oh, sorry, I hit the mic.
yeah, but you got wax and all that stuff. That's the main things. You got to
Yeah,
have the wax.
yeah, that's the thing. Like basswood is amazing for wax. I can't really describe how crazy it gets.
Hmm.
I haven't used like I have drawn supers. I have a lot of them. I haven't used any of it. I have them drawn, and then next year I just add undrawn frames because it's so crazy and so fast. I'm just building drawn cone reserves.
Yeah, well, that's drawn wax is gold,
Yes.
as we say. I've been trying. I'll put on a super 10 frame super honey super on. I try to put 3 or 4 or 5 of them on there, and try to build the wax out. I tried the thing last year where Cayman said, put a foundation in between 2 drawn. Well, he just made the other ones draw those out and let the foundation didn't do a thing.
Yeah, I've
So
seen them do
I
that
went I
before.
went back to my own thing where I just put all 10 frames on and let them draw that box out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start like splitting the jobs next year because doing 3 things in one day, ouch. Yeah, I should have
Yeah.
like taken the time. Like
Well, like
one day
me,
make
I'm like
make
flip. Go
one day
ahead.
make the mating nukes, then check for the mites, and today I should have just popped out the cells and dropped them into. But I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess.
Yeah, do your mite checks. That's be just one thing. The mite checks. That's what I found. And then, usually I have 20 nukes. I'll have a dozen honey hives. Well, depending on what time of the year it is, one weekend I'll do the nukes. And the next week I'll do the 10, 12 frame or the 12
Yeah,
honey
my
hives.
my
But now if
bees
it's honey season, I might go out there in midweek, depending on the flow. If it's like your flow, of course, I'd be putting 2 or 3 boxes on at a time.
there's 2 now, and I have enough to add 4 per hive, I think. So as soon as one's gonna get capped, I'll just harvest, extract, and put it straight back on it if I
Right.
have to. But the thing
Right.
that really surprised me was like one night out of 12 hives. Like I've had good results before, but this is crazy.
You
And
know, it
what
depends
I
on what did you do different
uh,
to treat.
same as usual. Like I do my Apivar treatment. Then as soon as it ends, like I remove the stripes and I immediately do one blast of oxalic. That's it. Just one blast.
Taking your
work
treatment, Bob.
Dude, I gotta take some allergy because my eyes and all that just blasted.
You might want to start taking some honey. It might help you out.
That's just a beauty, like surfacing.
I can't. My eyes are watering and everything. It's like, oh my gosh.
What are you allergic to?
I don't know.
Everything.
It apparently.
Well, not bees, obviously.
I did get 2 stings on my finger today on my thumb.
Oh, I got one here, and it hurts so bad when I put pressure on it. Like just driving, like holding the steering wheel, like hurt my palm. Because I was removing one glove to like grab the cells, not so I have like more dexterity.
Right.
and one of the little bastards got into the glove. So when I put it back on, like these things, oh, it hurts.
What do
Well,
you
it sounds
all
like
spray
you're
on your gloves?
Yeah, sounds like you're doing great, Alex, as far as I'm concerned.
I didn't even
Charlie.
wear gloves today.
Huh?
I didn't wear
What do
gloves
you-
today.
What do y'all spray in y'all's gloves? I know you talked about it the other day to keep them from getting hard. What is that? Leather conditioner?
Yeah, I
This
got
stuff
that
works
stuff.
great.
That stuff works good.
You get those hard, crusty gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Every time I put them on, they're like
Or
rock.
this for
They're
men.
like rocks. That stuff works, Alex. You get that off of Amazon. What I did was I had a pair of gloves that was pretty much wore out. They had holes in them. And I got myself a brand new pair of gloves, goat skin gloves. I put that stuff on there and rub it on there when it's brand new and clean. And then every time I get done or before
There
I
it
start,
is,
I
$10.99.
squirt a little bit of that on there and it works great.
I washed my gloves and everything in the washer, and it after a couple days they started getting hard. So I put them on best I could. You know, the fingers are all crimpled up, and put that on it, and next thing you know, back to good.
Yeah.
Basically, you just put them on like lotion, like you're putting lotion on your hands and gloves, and
That's good to know. Thank you.
it's good stuff.
I've had other different conditioners, but nothing like that stuff. That stuff really works and all. And it's got a nice smell to it, and the bees don't seem to have a problem with it. What'd you put out there? Oh, I see. You got it up there on the internet. Okay.
That's
Cool.
it.
I wear nitrile gloves.
Yeah, they tear too easy for my taste. They work great when they're like when they stay whole, but like you look at them wrong and they tear up and are on your hands.
You got to get some of them. What are they called? Black Widow or something like that.
That's I got Black Widow. Yeah.
Black Widow. They're really thick.
Yeah.
I had some old beekeeping gloves, and them bees, they'd lock them gloves up. And mean old bees I had, you couldn't see your hands. You had bees all over them.
The ones I get are green.
And I took some of them gloves and put on top of them, and they didn't mess with that material. They didn't like it.
Yeah, Alex, I wouldn't have fooled with the mite treatment or the mite washes or anything like that. I'd have just worked on the cells.
Yeah, but
you'd have been better.
It needed to be done. Like I was about to tear up half of the hives, so
Happy duty with
I
HD
may as
stuff.
well do the mite wash.
Green
They
gloves.
sting through that stuff there, lip flip.
Absolutely.
They can.
Absolutely, but a lot of times you just pop it and the stinger comes right out. I just pop them. But
Yeah.
I don't rip. They don't rip. So
that's good.
They're probably a heavy mill, aren't they?
I'll see if it says how many mils they are. It just says extra thick. They're on Amazon.
Yeah, Dennis, that's what I wear. I wear the goat skin gloves. They're what it amounts to is the goat skin gloves are much more pliable. They're a little thinner, and yeah, the bees actually, if they're wet with your sweat,
yeah, they can sting through it.
They can sting you, but they're like it's more like a pinprick where they can't get the venom in you.
Yeah,
Like
I got
that.
a few sting through the gloves, but they, like you said, they don't hurt much. No venom.
Well, I definitely wear gloves in the fall when they're mean as all get out and there's no flow, and you'll come back and you'll look at your hands after you get done working, and there's like stingers all over the damn place.
If I'm shaking bees or something, I wear the goat skin gloves.
Yeah, Westlock 9 mil have.
Yeah, like getting like at 7 or 8 p.m., the bees were fed up with me. I had this tornado of worker bees like trying to get rid of me. I had to ignore them, but if it was annoying. they don't give up. They just
Do they
don't.
chase you?
I always got a couple guard bees that are around my head or whatever flying around. You get used to them. You just don't pay any attention to them.
Just
Yeah,
swat
I
them
know
off the
just
back of
the-
your skull when they sting you. You're good to
There's,
go.
there's a difference between a few and covering your whole veil.
Well, the
Yeah,
benefit of
that's
nitrile
that.
gloves is actually being able to feel what you're doing.
Well, the craziest defense response I've ever seen is when I made the mistake of like taking a peek inside the flyback
Hive.
split. The
Now,
part
what?
that
Explain that. I mean, I've heard everybody talk about
okay,
it.
what you
What
do
is
with a
that?
flyback split is you take your hive like
Yeah.
double brood chamber.
Yeah.
You find the queen.
Yeah.
You take that frame. You set it aside in a new box. You take a frame of food. You give it to the queen. You take 8 undrawn frames. You give those. You put those in the box, and you put that in the place where her hive was. So all the workers fly back. That's why it's called a flyback split.
Yeah.
What you're left with is basically a giant starter finisher. It makes a lot of queen cells. I had over 30 when I did
Is
this
that
last
why
year.
you do the double brood chamber for more queen cells?
Yeah. Well, it's not the reason I have worked with 2 brood chambers, but
So you got all your foragers flying back to the original location
yeah,
where
that's
that
why it's
queen
called a
is.
flyback. So you end
and
up
then-
with a ton of foragers that have to revert back to wax makers, nurse bee. Like the queen is still there, and they go in overdrive. Like they had the thing drawn in 2 weeks. It was fully drawn, but I made the mistake of opening that part of the flyby split like 2 days after. And from their point of view, they basically lost everything except 2 frames. The defensive response was like it was.
Well, that's because you got the meanest bees and hives in there.
Yes, they're all workers. It was a stupid mistake.
They're all the foragers.
They were
They're the
all
mean- they're the
foragers.
mean
Like
ones.
it was black with bees on my veil. Like I slammed the thing shut immediately, and it eventually calmed down. But yeah, pop it open. So don't do that if you ever try a flyback split.
Nah, I like to graph. My
I like
biggest
to
thing
graph
is
too.
trying to make a cell builder with trying to get the right amount of nurse bees and stuff like that.
Yeah, I made this time around. I made a mistake. I just didn't give them enough pollen to. That's why it dropped a few cells. I think there were 27s on last Sunday, and there were 24 when I got there. So my guess is I should have given them more pollen. But
That's a pretty good idea there, Spanky. Putting honey bandit on there or honey robber.
They would chase you. You'd walk around the property. You'd be sitting for hours. They'd be on you. Them bees would not leave you alone. You go out 3 days later, they'd be on the porch waiting on you.
Really?
you're a
I
masochist.
got tired of waiting, trying to get them off me. I get the honey. Leave me alone. Go on.
That's funny.
Them was mean bees. They weren't Africanized. They wasn't just. But the moment you opened that box, you invited them to come at you.
I know that feeling.
They were ready to rumble.
Because them Africanized bees, if you just walk wrong, you're done for. Them things will swarm you.
Yeah. And they're, like you say, they're on your veil and everything in droves.
And if a few of them manage to get in your veil, that's annoying.
Yeah, we get that problem occasionally. You forget the zip or you open up the front thing like that to wipe your sweat off or whatever, and then here comes one, it'll get in there.
I have to tie a piece of cloth because, well, I have no hair to have the sweat move away from my eyes. And it untied and fell in the bottom, so like trying to get the piece of cloth out, and I guess I loosened it up, and then like a bee or two got in. Like I'm talking to the camera, and like I see a bee flying from. Yeah. I obviously won't put that in the video, but I
Hey, you
think I'll
guys
keep
saw I
it
took
just
my
in case.
$4,000 uncapper and jammed a frame in it. You guys saw that. I didn't cut that out. I could have ripped the whole thing apart right then. You don't edit bad stuff out of the video, because then people are. You got to keep it in.
Well, you
I
get
didn't
that one
spray
in
it
your
all.
veil. You try to
I
get
leave
that
my
veil and that
mistakes
bee
in.
and just squeeze it on the
Yeah,
inside.
that's what I do. I try and like reach with like the soft part of the veil and just smash it.
Oh no, Lee, I didn't spray it on my veil. I ain't that crazy.
Because Honey Bennett has butyric acid in it.
No, I'd spray it on the gloves though, because I was wearing them thick old gloves. And then you just spray it around you, because they're all around you. Go on, get. But no, I went crazy and sprayed my face.
Oh man, did you taste it, Lee?
I wouldn't taste it either.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm dying over here, guys. It's terrible.
You need some pollen rustler.
Pollen rustler.
His new allergy
And
line.
then I got allergy rustler going on. Holy moly, I don't even know why. No idea.
I'm rather grateful I don't have any allergies, especially to bees.
Oh man. Well, it is 10:28.
You're gonna call it off? Take a rest from the allergies?
Yeah, I think so. And Laramore's supposed to be coming in the morning, and we're gonna try to be some electricians tomorrow. See if we can burn my old house down.
Yeesh.
Let's see. They're talking about blowing stuff around. I wonder James and those guys what they're doing tonight. I haven't seen them post up anything.
Probably busy up there.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
They're what?
Probably busy, pretty busy up there right now.
Yeah, we got to remember it's just getting dark up there.
Yeah, well, they're getting ready for that flow because their flow starts in the next week or two, right? Well, he's already said he's already got more honey in his colonies right now, and they just started up, right? Than I pulled this year.
That sounds like you need to move.
That might be.
Have you got any inkling of what the 40 Hive sale is going all about yet? He ain't said
No, he won't let me in on it. He won't let me in on that. So
I say he's got a extraction line lined up, or a piece of ground or something. Remember that barn he said he had? There was a barn or a shed that
right.
had the extraction line in it, just sitting there.
I don't know.
Bob didn't get him a piece of ground. I figured that's what you was gonna do, Bob. Get you a piece of ground to put.
I haven't found any cheap enough that I can afford. That's nice enough to put bees on. That's got stuff around it. So,
well, if I wasn't so far away, I'd let you bring a truckload of them up here, but that's too far.
yeah, I wouldn't be able to work them.
No.
Yeah, well, Spanky would work them for you.
Oh, hell no.
Let's see.
Them bees are mean. I already know.
Who, mine? Everybody says my bees are mean, and nobody got stung today. Only me and my finger. Now, and Sam, he just had his ball cap with his little green pull-down mesh over his face. He didn't get stung. Nobody got stung. But I do have one hive. I know that if I would have cracked that hive, it'd have been on.
You gonna requeen that hive, or are you just gonna leave it?
Well, I'm not going to do anything with it right now. I don't even know if it'll make it through winter at this point. Let me see. After watching Mr. Ed do the extractor comparison, I think going with good equipment is the way to go. Oh, yeah. Well, I've had my extractor. I know how to use my extractor. It was nice and quiet today.
Well, Ed did Max. I don't know how he ever got Maxan to send him a darn machine.
Well, he's got a Maxan already, don't he?
I don't know what it is. I thought it might have been Man Lake. He had Maxan. He had your buddy out there that sells swarm lure.
Oh, Hilco?
Hilco and Vivor or whatever it was, Chinese crap and all that. But I didn't like any of the machines that I looked at or what he had. I didn't really look at them that much. I didn't, I would get, if you're going to get like an extractor and you want something, you don't need a 30 or 20 frame. I would get something like a 12 frame, but radial, make sure it's radial.
Yes, radial. Save yourself a lot of pain. Get radial.
And all that.
Tangential is horrible.
Well, I had that Maxant that he had there when I first bought a guy out, but it didn't have the good basket like that. And I don't know, it was okay. I finally got the 18 frame when I got radio. It works fine. If I had to do it over again, I don't know. I might have, I did. Well, they had license, but I wasn't as educated on those type at that time.
All right. What's your dream extractor, Charlie?
I don't really have one. I mean, I got the 18 frame radio right now and it's fine. The one thing I do like about the license is the way they have when you put the frame in, it's cut out real, with I'll say a square, and it holds the frame top and bottom really good on the license hives. I'd like that. Now, the ones at Hilco, they got plastic rims around it. I don't like plastic. It's going to break. It's going to crack after a while.
I wish they all had that slope bottom so all the honey would flow out. You have to tip it over.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty slope, but I still tilt it up a little bit, and it makes the last little bit run out pretty good. Otherwise, you got to stick your arm in there with a spatula or something and scrape it around.
Imagine you bolted that thing down, and then you have to unbolt it every time to tip it.
Mine's not bolted down right now.
You just bolted, tilted, problem solved.
Well, I have to put mine up on a pallet. I actually used a pallet it was shipped on because it's got 3/4 inch plywood on top. And I screw it down to that. That raises it up high enough where you can get a bucket underneath the spigot. And then my Date Ant 20 is, I'll say, top notch.
Notched, probably for the frame holders.
Notched. Yeah, it's notched. Yeah. I like that better than mine. Mine's more of a spot welded with wiry looking type thing. And it does fine. It's just I find those baskets and those other machines are much better. And an extractor's an extractor.
The dream extractor is one like Ian's, like the whole line.
Well, that's a line.
That's a whole line. That's not just an extractor.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about something that I don't need it or want it, or I don't have you got to have a room for that damn thing.
Yeah, of course.
It's like Bob there with that uncapping machine and all. He's got to have a honey house for that. I would have to have a honey house, dedicated room. When you got a 30 frame extractor and you got that uncapping line and all that different stuff, you got to have a room for all that stuff. My main thing when I was buying my stuff, I want stuff to be portable, where I can put it in my back porch, do what I need to do those 2 weeks out of the year, tear it back down and put it away. And the only thing I got to buy here is the scissor lift that I have on my bottling tank. I used it for my uncapping tank, which brings the uncapping tank up to where the height I like it. And it also is on rollers. And I need to buy another scissors lift. So I might be doing that.
Now I posted a photo of that of the uncapper in the Stream Team Facebook group.
Yeah.
And it was sent for admin approval, but evidently if you're not part of the Stream Team, you can't post in there unless you do it as a comment on one of theirs. So
yeah,
I don't know why I'm even in that chat anymore.
I don't do Facebook, so
I don't get it. Whatever. Anyway, guys,
they have so many subscribers and people that want to post.
Yeah, that's BS. My thing is, you've got a community page. Then it's a community of beekeepers.
Right.
So why can't the community of beekeepers post in a beekeeping community group? That doesn't make any sense. If you don't like it, I mean, just don't allow that post. But the post that I put was literally just the picture of the uncapper saying the new gear has arrived, and that was it. And nothing. So I don't know. But whatever. I'm done.
That's like they say, they're part of the community.
Their own community.
Yeah.
That's about it. I get frustrated with that stuff. Too frustrated. Plus my head's hurting, so maybe I just need to go to sleep, forget about it. That's just aggravation to me.
That brought the image from the movie, like where the Hulk is getting punched by Iron Man. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Yeah. Let me see. It's I don't know. Let me see. What are they talking about over here? I'm looking at the chat. A good electric extractor will be nice. If anyone sees a used one, let me know. Usually the ones that I see, I don't know. The used ones that I see are usually ones that people are upgrading from. And they're usually the same things, like the Vivor or the Vivo, or let me see, honey extractor.
Yeah. And as for Dream Extractor, I think Bob and I have our Dream Extractor already.
Yeah, I'm fine with what I got for like ever, I think.
The Lyson 30 frame is probably the best I can get right now. It was crazy, but it was worth it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's going to do all you're going to do. What do you do? Put that in your front living room there, Alex?
It's in the dining room right now.
It's in the dining room. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because
what do you do? Of course, that has the motor on the bottom, which really works out good for you because then you can just put a wooden top on top of it. Now you got a dining room table.
I don't eat in my dining room really.
Well, when you're entertaining guests, they go
in the living room.
I figured
there's like I work from home.
Say, would you like some honey? And just pull some honey bottle out.
Because I work from home, so my office is in the dining room. Like
there's
a small table.
Now
in
you
got
a computer.
Then there's
table.
the big table with all like I have a small lathe there, and then I have some empty bottles, and then on the other side of the table
is your computer.
Is my extractor like against the in the corner.
Yeah.
So when I extract, I just take my small uncapping table, put it at the end of the table, at the end of the table, uncap the honey, go over, put it in the extractor.
Yeah.
I need to get myself an electric knife because that's my bottleneck right now is uncapping.
What do you got? A cold knife?
A cold knife, yes.
That's
like
what
them,
we use.
but they're slow.
We use cold knife.
What you can do, you can put a kettle of water over here, and you put your knife. You get two knives, and you put it in the water and keep it hot. And then you bring it over here, and you slice it, and then put it back in the hot water.
That's a good idea.
But what you just go out and buy
And
buy yourself an electric hot knife and be done with it,
I,
or a
I
hot
will
flame.
do like money. Money is the issue. I don't have a high paying job, so that's a part of what's holding me back. And I'm not very
I
good
thought
at
the computer
selling
guys were high
things.
paying.
Like I
Aren't you?
spoke a lot with James and Brad last night. They
Yeah.
helped me like they helped me, gave me tips on how to sell my honey better, how to monetize my bees better. Because this is beekeeping is not easy, but it's intuitive to me. I catch on pretty quick, but interacting with people, finding clients, it's very very difficult for me.
Mm,
Like James said, he was profitable almost immediately. I wasn't. I think I am going to be profitable this year, especially with if the basswood flow is going to be even better because of the timing with the rain.
yeah,
Uh,
but just go to your local stores, or I don't know what you got to do, but go to your
yeah, but
stores if you if you
there's two national holiday, a provincial holiday on the June 24th, and then there's 7 days later there's Canada Day. So what I got to do is find anywhere in Quebec where that's close that has a public party if you want for the
fair or
national
whatever you
day,
want.
because there's Quebec's national day and then Canada Day like within a week of each other. So I just gotta find a place somewhere close, then bring my honey at those events.
Mhm.
Like you said, try and find uh, local stores that will sell it. I have the lady at the apple orchard that wants my honey. She wants at least 2 cases to begin with, but she opens in August because apples are, well, they're not ready yet.
Yeah, well, you're going to have honey by August.
Oh yes, I'm gonna
All right.
have
Well,
honey
I mean,
between
I
about
got a
30
friend
days
of
from
mine. He
now.
sells it to a bee. He sells it to a apple orchard and peach orchard, and they buy not a case, but cases and cases and cases of it. And it sells like hotcakes. So you just have to, it's like everything else in beekeeping. It takes baby steps, and then you'll get this, and then you get this person interested, and then word of mouth, it gets, hey, I know where you get that. You go to Alex and he can supply you. And
Yeah,
it
and,
just gets
and
bigger and bigger.
something Brad told me is farmers market aren't worth it. It costs too much, and people the way he worded it is like, oh, I'll come back next week. I won't buy it now.
Yeah.
So
I don't go to farmers market. Do you have a sign out there in your front of your apartment house, honey sold here?
but if I can monetize my honey better this year, I might begin like I might start actually being profitable. And
Yeah.
whatever's left, I have an open offer, all my honey, but at bulk prices.
Yeah. So
And when I bring a bucket, they give me a new bucket in exchange too. So they pay me plus a free bucket, 5 gallons, or a drum if I bring a drum.
but they want to pay you what, $3 a pound or something?
325 Canadian.
Yeah.
So like remove 90 cents. That's about the worth in USD.
So the way James and those guys said they did it is they do charge $3.95 a pound, but then they add on
The price of the bucket.
jar or the bucket, whatever. Yeah. So they separate the actual cost of the honey and the bottle, right? So like if I say I sell this for $10 a pound, not really. I'm selling it for about $9.50 a pound plus the
Cost
bottle.
of the
Right?
bottle. I always charge the price of the bottle, like 650 grams. I don't know how much it is in ounces, but it fills like a jar, mason jar about this big. I sell it for $15, and it sells pretty well. And I sell it at that price because I gotta buy those freaking bottles over and over.
Yeah.
Mason jars, like they're not expensive, but they're not cheap either. They're about $1, like 15 each.
Well,
Plus,
Bob.
yeah, plus the price of the labels, I got to print them.
Mm-hmm.
I got myself a continuous like ink system, like it's tubes connected to tanks that you can plug into the cartridges, so I don't have to constantly buy new ink cartridges for my printer because those things are pricey.
Epson Eco Tank.
Yeah, I was looking at them at work, but they's more expensive, and of course, work.
What's that, Bob?
Epson
What did you
Eco
just?
Tank. So you get your ink comes in this deal here.
Yep.
And you open it up, and it's got like a vacuum deal on it, and it releases all the ink into the cartridge in the thing. So you never have to buy cartridges, just the ink to go in the cartridges. And it supposedly lasts a lot longer.
Yeah,
So,
supposedly you get a 2-year supply when you buy the printer.
All right, Alex, you see that? Power to you.
Yeah.
oh, there we go.
The minion of Grim. Hey, there's the big Brian.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I'm on my phone in the truck on the way home from the market.
Well,
You're
you
not
need to
on
turn
your
the
phone.
tires
You're
up. I can't hear them.
How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Tired, but good.
Yeah, very tired.
So, Alex, I want to encourage you just to start pounding the pavement, man. You've got big dreams for your company, but I heard you last night talking about struggling selling honey. You just got to start doing it, man. You got to put yourself out there, and every time you put yourself out there, you're going to get more and more opportunities.
I would buy a card table.
Another thing that's coming soon is there's going to be an office party, and I'm like a few people have asked me to bring some honey.
Yeah.
So I'm going to fill up maybe 2 to 4 cases of 12 bottles.
Do you have a Google page for your business? Have you Googled your business and claimed that your business?
No, I don't have one.
Well, that's a start right there. So when people Google honey near me in Quebec, they're coming up with, oh, Lagrange bees. That sounds great. Let me give them a call. And then you're like, oh, of course we have honey. And that's, I mean, a lot of people just Google honey, and I get bees that way. I get honey that way. They got to be able to find you.
Okay.
And every honey jar you sell is going to lead to another honey jar, is going to lead to another opportunity. It's just, there's no secret ingredients except working your ass off. And that's all it takes. And sometimes you do stuff and it'll pay off, and sometimes it won't. But you just got to start putting yourself out there, and the momentum builds, man. I did 2 different events today, and I had like 4 different people tell me or ask me, so do you want a place to put bees? How about my backyard? How about this? And most of them I said no. Didn't work for me, but every time you put yourself out there, it's another opportunity. I just hear you over and over again. You've got big dreams. You really want to do it, but you're hesitant about selling the honey. And, you've got to be a good beekeeper, but you've also got to learn to be a good business person. And being a good business person means learning how to sell yourself. And it's not easy. I'm an introvert. I don't do it well, but you start learning a script. You start learning the same spiel over and over again, and you start getting good at it. And sometimes you say the wrong thing, but you go home and you think about it, and you think about what you're going to say next time. I want to see you succeed, man. You're on the right track. I think you just got to start putting yourself out there with the selling part.
Yeah, Brian's right, because I'll be in my office and I'll be writing up a bill for lumber. And then I'll say, yeah, well, I do bees up here, and I start talking a story. And it's like, you got to give them. I says, I've cured a bunch of people of their allergies, and they'll, what do I said, well, it's, the honey, I tell them, how the pollen in the honey is what, offset your allergy problems and stuff like that. And they like to hear that. Then they'll start asking questions. And I said, then you get into talking about about the adulterated honey coming in from China, and that's why of course, I don't know how it's going to apply with you in Canada, but here in the United States, they banned it, you say. And then I say, that's what you're buying up there at the store, because that's why it's so cheap. And, and they filter the honey out so much that you lose all the goodness out of it. And that sparks interest. And then I said, well, give me a bottle of that honey, after telling them, a bunch of true, factual stories.
Like something silly, but just by complying to the labeling laws in Canada, I realized I have to put my phone number on the labels.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what I do. I have my phone number on there.
Well,
just
complying with the law helped me.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I put my phone number on there and I have my address, and I tell them, I said, we're here, 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday, and that's our business hours. But I said, if you run out of honey, and I'm happen to be here at the house, give me a call, and I'll come on up to the door there, and I'll give you, some people have a problem with that, but I've grown up in a family business where we've always had the public coming in our kitchen all the time, so I'm used to it.
Heard them? They pull up in front and honk the horn, and I go running out.
That's right.
Like some honey, man.
Like, about a month ago, somebody just randomly showed up at my door and asked for honey. So I guess that's the beginnings of what Brian spoke of earlier.
They got to know you exist.
Yep.
And in an apartment, it's hard for them to know you exist like that because you don't have necessarily your bees like right next to the house.
Yeah.
So that's an association thing where mine are just sitting out there, and I've got a sign in the yard that says local honey. If they want to find out about it, they either got to stop, or they got to see me in the yard, or they got to knock,
It sucks when you live on a dead end, though.
I do live in a dead end.
Yep.
It's
the only people we get coming up are who live.
I'm on the edge of the city. There's woods behind and a community garden. It's a beautiful. I don't hear the Highway 15. There's a Highway 15 like less than 5 minutes from me. Less.
I need to ask a dumb question.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get involved with the South Carolina Beekeeper Association, right? They already had their like spring meeting, and now they're getting ready to have their summer meeting. But how come they don't have it where people can actually attend, right? So they always have it. It's same as Hive Life. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I understand.
You're in the Bible Belt. That's why.
Well, okay. So if I'm going to a seminar Saturday and Sunday, why can't you put it on the weekend? People are off. They might actually show up. You put the thing during the week. If I went to all these conferences, I would have to take like every weekend off. Every Friday, Saturday. And this one's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Oh, yeah, the end of the week.
Yes.
Bible Belt week starts on Sunday.
Well, that was like bluegrass festivals. It used to be always Fridays. Friday evening is when it started. It was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then after 20-some years, the trend was Sunday is the travel day. So now we're going to start Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then Sunday was for the folks to get in their campers and travel home. And that's the way they have it now. So it's.
Yeah, but it's like it's for your state. So anybody that's coming is coming within your state. So if it's Saturday and Sunday, they can leave after work Friday and get anywhere in my state the same night, and then
I don't mean they want to
get up early. Well, but in my opinion, for a state level thing, you figure that they're probably missing out on people coming because a lot of people can't take half the week off to go.
I don't know. We had a state meeting today, but it was just a one-day deal. So, all right, I got to get off here, guys.
Yeah, me too.
Good night, Charlie.
So, but Alex, go to that their party thing that you're talking about.
Yeah.
You go there, you set up a little table, you talk about bees, talk about the benefit Well, talk about the benefits
I
of your
should
honey.
I should take the time to finish. That wouldn't be a thing I've been crafting.
Don't worry about all that. They're looking for your honey. So
Yeah, but
talk about
it will attract attention, like you said, showmanship.
yeah.
Because
But
I
talk
wouldn't
about
have that thing
have
for
a
2 years,
have
on and on.
have a spiel about the benefits, health benefits of your local honey. It isn't heated. It has all the pollen in it. It's raw honey. That's what the
Hey,
people. Those are the buzzwords in honey sales. That's
it
what
doesn't
people are
get
looking
any
for.
more local than this.
This
The,
right
the
here.
bees are right
And by
here.
the way, you can call my number right here on the bottle and get more from me.
The
We can
lady,
either meet up or you can stop by the house.
the lady that got the quartz today. Hey, I literally just pulled this out of the hive. It doesn't get any fresher than this honey you got right here. It just came out. And $120 later, she, from the one lady, and then 60 from the other lady, and 15 from the other lady. It just 200, $300 from.
Get it? Just give them a spiel.
Yeah, the apple orchard. I got a very good impression. Like it's hard. It's been several months, but from the reaction I got, I had a pretty high interest in the honey. But when I went there, it was at the end of the season, which was a bad idea. The lady actually asked me to have. Huh?
Where is this at? The apple orchard?
Yeah, it's in Oka. It's about 45 minutes from.
Yeah, so it's an apple orchard, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And it's
she needed your honey in the beginning of their season, so they could sell it through their season.
Exactly.
And people were all excited.
It's a bio-certified orchard. That means there's no spraying for about 3 miles around them.
No, it's organic.
Organic certified. That's the.
You got organic, and you got organic honey here. No sprays, nothing.
Once I can set an apiary there because she wants one, I can sell organic certified honey because it comes with the territory.
Too. But so that's another thing. You have to go through the government and file the paperwork so they can come out and say you're certified organic and pay the government a fee. I wouldn't even worry about that bullshit. I would just put my honey there and sell as much as you could. And then when they come and they say, is this organic? It said, well, technically by the state, no. Or the province, no. But these bees are surrounded by all these organic farms. So I'm going to say technically it's organic, but not listed that way. And I mean,
so Bob, the way I phrase it is, I'm not certified organic, but we say we use organic practices. We've got no sticker, we've got no stamp, but we do use organic practices. We just haven't jumped through all those hoops that you're talking about. It's the wording matters, and it's not lying. It's just being truthful and honest with what you're doing. We use organic practices. We're not certified organic, but we use organic practices.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it, and I'm not trying to be like abrasive, Alex. You know me, but what I'm saying is, and this is the difference. It seems like you guys have a very heavily regulated, bee farming regulations. Here, we don't have that, and even some of the stuff that we do have,
the bee police is not there.
The bee police isn't here. So until the bee police show up and tell me that something is in, I don't sweat it, right? I'm not worried about it that much. So, like queens, if a beekeeper comes up to you and if it's not the damn inspector, if he wants a queen, sell him the damn queen and take the money. Buy your next box. Buy your next thing off of that queen. I'm not telling you, now the beekeeper might ask you, might say, do you have your paperwork? That's the conversation you have on the phone before he comes over. Look, I don't have the thing, but I have a queen. And I bet you most cases the guy will be like, I don't even care. I need a queen. Let me get the queen, right? He doesn't care about the paperwork part of it. So, hey, Jose.
Being honest up front like that, like just like you said, usually is enough.
Yeah. So, I mean, and this is just me on the outside perspective. It feels like you, and I know like your job is very detailed. You're trying to find bugs and sort those out.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel that when you find a regular, well, I want to get this paperwork done before I sell queens, but I got to get this paperwork before I do that. And dude, you got a handful of colonies. Just keep bees and sell honey and do one little thing at a time. Take one little step, and eventually you'll get there. It just baby steps. Get people to know that you got the honey, you got the bees, and all of a sudden it'll start flowing, and you'll have a jar with a bunch of cash in it from people paying you, and then you go buy
more stuff to get more bees to get more.
Yeah, and then you're like me, you're broke,
stuff.
but you got equipment and bees that aren't making any honey. There you go.
Well, you need to get on better land then, Bob. Go get you some cover crop or something.
This year, just the temperatures and rain, I think, did a lot to us. But
it's been mild here. They say it's going to be a mild summer here.
Have you contacted the guy that owns the hazelnut, or what's
the chestnut farm?
The chestnut farm, yes.
Charlie dipped out on us.
Yeah, I saw him putting his shoes on.
I could put some out there right now, but to be honest with you, I just don't know what they're using over at the strawberries, and I feel like I don't want to take a bunch of stuff over there, and all of a sudden I got 20 dead bee colonies.
Ask them first. What kind of spraying do they do?
All I know is I put 5 nukes out there last year and brought back 5 nuke boxes.
Oof.
Yeah, so that was enough to tell me that
no good.
I was feeding them and treating them, and they just didn't grow, and they just went backwards the whole time. So,
hey guys, I just got home. I got to unload the truck. I just wanted to come on and encourage you, Alex. You can do it, man. You just got to pound the pavement. You just keep doing it, and you'll get there, man. You're on the right track. Just keep at it, okay?
All right, thank you.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
We got you, man. And I'm he's the good cop. I'm the bad cop. I'm like the tough love guy, right? I'm the tough love. Hey, man, this sucks, but we're gonna make it. We're gonna do it. So, and you already got. You got the 30 frame extractor. You got a good piece of kit there and stuff. So you're in the right, going the right way.
Yes. Because I figured, like, instead of improving, like getting slightly better extractor every time, I'm going to go for the biggest one that fits through the door.
Well, the first problem is you're spending money and more money and more money. And then the second part is actually trying to sell the one you just want to get rid of, right? So it will sell probably, but...
yeah, that little two-framer is taking space that's starting to get annoying. Like it's this close to end up in the recycling bin, and me not caring about the $400.
On which one?
The first one I got, like that. It's a tiny, like, tangential two-framer.
Oh,
I hate it. I hate that machine. I might just rip out the engine and throw away the basket.
Well, you know what, though? But there's somebody out there that doesn't have that extractor.
I don't want to punish him with this thing. It's horrible. It takes so much time to extract.
It's only a punishment because you paid for it.
Yep. So when somebody comes up and they're buying their first nuke from you, and you're like, how are you going to get your honey out of your thing? You know what? I got something for you. You give me $300 and it's yours. And they're like, cool. We have this extractor now. We're good to go.
Tangential two-framers are they're a booby trap. Like,
a booby trap.
Like it's horrible.
That's what you call manual.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Booby trap.
Extracting 60 frames took me 12 or 15 hours. It's God, I can't state how much I hate that thing. Overstate.
Well, just think, it was only what? I don't know if it was only what 10 times what you paid for that one to get the license.
Yes, about 10 times.
So
and it took what 4 hours to extract 60 frames last.
So what I extracted today didn't even fill up. It was like 17, 18 frames. So it didn't even fill up my whole extractor, what I pulled today. And so it was like, well, this is interesting. I had four frames left over that we pulled the second time we went out there. And so I just had there was like four, one on each side of the machine, and just spun it. Wasted 15 minutes of electricity, but it did get the honey out of it.
You might want to try and find farmland that's close to you, like my bees. My first apiary is like 30 minutes away. Yeah, the one I'm about to open is 20 minutes away.
If I get an apiary that's 30 minutes away, I'm quitting my job.
Yeah,
that's what it would take. Because I would never get out there. Between driving 30 minutes out there, working the colonies, driving 30 minutes back, and then working all the colonies here in 2 days, if it's not raining, or something like that. My wife would probably divorce me because I'd never be home. So that would be it'd be hard. I mean, so last year at this time, I didn't have that problem, right? Because I wasn't working this time. And I could go out there today and work 20 colonies, tomorrow 20 colonies, whatever. But
so what you're saying is you need to bring the farmland to you.
I need to just buy a damn farm, I guess.
Or like Spanky said, plant cover crop.
Yeah, just need a cleared area that you can throw out a cover crop.
Just be like Johnny Appleseed going down the road throwing apple seeds.
Whether yours or not.
Something that grows faster than apple trees, but yeah.
They might clip it if it's on the ditches. They go through and trim.
Crocus.
Crocus
is good for spring, and then there's other flowers for like find seeds for like early spring, late spring, early summer, late summer, early fall, late fall, and just get them as much as you can, like spread them out.
Buckwheat.
Buckwheat doesn't taste very good in my opinion.
It depends on the variety. There's different varieties of buckwheat.
Love it.
No, my wife doesn't remember who I am anymore. Paul. My wife doesn't remember who I am anymore. She was nice today. She cooked the hamburgers when we were working outside. Farms cost way more than an uncapper. It's true. 'Tis true. Anyway, guys, I'm feeling kind of rough tonight.
Let's go.
My sinuses, so I am going to get off here. I have 3 out yards, 15 minutes for me around here. Everyone seems to want bees. I put a post up.
Nice. That's good.
On Facebook, and nobody responded. Go figure. But I'll keep looking. And now,
how much you were going to pay them?
I'm not paying them nothing. That's what they're getting. Nothing.
That still cracks me up.
Yeah. I told you about the farmer that called me to ask how much that I would pay him to put my bees on his property. I said, well, how much would you pay me for my bees to pollinate your crops? And then he didn't call me back. It was But anyway, guys, y'all have a good one. I'm probably not going to be on tomorrow, but who knows? I say that every night, and I'm still here. So we'll see what happens. You guys have a good night, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks.